Oh, hi. Steve Dangle here. On Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle, a show that I cannot sleep in and miss. To give a little bit of context before this game between the Toronto Maple Leafs and the St. Louis Blues, Sid Cicero is coming on at first intermission. He's going to stick around for at least the second period. There are rumors floating around, rumblings even, that he'll stick around for the third period as well. Dude has COVID. Did you know that? Well, now you do. And he's troopering through it. What a veteran broadcaster. What a professional. He would never miss a show. I would. Sid invited me on to breakfast television, one of the biggest shows in the country, quite literally. And I slept through it because I forgot. 8:18 is all right. We're coming to Steve Dangle after the break. And my parents were watching because they watch breakfast television every morning. And they thought, they were mad at me because Steven, they call me Steven, Steven didn't even tell us he was going to be on the show. And then they got back from commercial break and I was not on the show. I was literally asleep. I woke up to frantic text messages from my mother, my father, my wife, and Sid Cicero. You ever have that happen to you? You know, when that happens? So anyway, I've been getting crap for it for several days now. 2, actually, this happened yesterday. 2 several. I think anything above 2 is several. It doesn't matter. Tonight, as we wait for Sid Cicero's arrival, it's going to be joyous. We have Toronto Maple Leafs taking on your St. Louis Blues. No, your St. Louis Blues, if you're from Missouri and you have a VPN and you're stealing this, you set your computer to steal. Your Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the St. Louis Blues, or maybe you're an impartial fan. You don't care. You hope both teams have fun. The Leafs have 3 guys on protocol. Andre Kasha is one of them. Nick Ritchie is another. And Justin Hall on defense. So the lines are as follows. Michael Bunting, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner. That hasn't changed. In fact, Mitch Marner coming off COVID protocol. Alex Kerfoot, John Tavares, William Nylander. That has not changed. Ilya Mikheyev playing his 100th game tonight. David Kampf and Pierre Engvall coming off a protocol. And then Kyle Clifford, Jason Spezza, Wayne Simmons. If you're looking for a little sprinkle, a little betting sprinkle tonight, he's not going to have good odds. Kyle Clifford, revenge game. Remember, the Leafs acquired Kyle Clifford from the St. Louis Blues in a trade earlier this season in a bit of a surprise. The pairings, Riley Brody, that's normal. Muzzin Liljegren, that's semi-normal. It was Muzzin Hall and then Hall obviously on protocol. So Muzzin Liljegren with a big opportunity there. And Rasmus Sandin getting back in the lineup with Travis Dermott on the right. Dermott Liljegren did not have a good time against the Coyotes. And then Campbell obviously starting, Peter Mrazek behind him. On the St. Louis Blues, of note, a guy who the Leafs just let walk. Just let walk. They drafted him. They're like, we think so much of you, we're going to draft you. And then they just let him walk. Dakota Joshua. He's a member of the St. Louis Blues now. He'll be centering their 4th line tonight. He's got 2 NHL goals. 1 last season, 1 this season. Hat-trick watch. I'm just going to throw it out there. Hat-trick watch. It's going to be tough. Also, Leafs looking to bounce back from losing to the last place team. You might notice I'm not wearing a Leafs jersey, by the way. This is one of the All-Star jerseys. It is blue. So that's why I wore this one. I am the captain. There is no name on the back. Should say Dangle. I got the shoulder patch. I look like I got shoulder pads on. Oh, and I got a new chair. Applause. Applause for the new chair. Snaps. Snaps for the blue chair. Or for the new chair. Not the blue chair. We got rid of the blue chair. It's still in the basement. It was a gift from my wife. I'm not going to throw it away. We do have questions. Producer Rob. Thank you. Richard, what jersey are you wearing? Well, I just answered that there. Richard, or whatever else you call Richard. Does anyone know? Jess, how do you feel about the lineup changes? Well, I think you're using the term lineup changes rather liberally. Lineup evolution. I'm going to say this is going to happen for the rest of the season. Guys going on protocol and little clumps here and there and just having to fill spots. The defense, truth be told, there were times this season where the current configuration I thought was the best one. Riley Brody obviously has to stay together. Liljegren I thought looked fantastic with Muzzin, who has struggled this season, and Sandin with Dermott. I think as a pair, they've looked very good. Marner with Matthews and Bunting. Matthews and Bunting have been hot as heck, so hopefully they can... you put a $10 million player on with a pair that's hot, it should work out, you'd think. And Mikheyev has been hot as a pistol. Engvall's going to be flying back in the lineup. Fourth line's heavy. I mean, despite missing Richie and Kasha, who's been fantastic this season, and Hall, they still got a shot to win. There are some teams, Montreal, who any given night you look at how devastated their roster is and you're like, there's no shot. No shot. And then you end up looking at the scoreboard by the end of the game, and you were right. Nicholas, who would you be willing to lose to keep Campbell? Well, the unfortunate answer is Mrazek because he makes 3.8. I really feel like he hasn't been given an opportunity, and it's just been bad luck. He played a game, got hurt, came back. Played a game, got hurt, came back. Played a game. Season's postponed. Came back. Played a game. Lost to the Coyotes. He's only played four. I was stoked that the Leafs were getting him because I wasn't convinced Jack Campbell could handle a starter's workload in an 82-game season. So far, he is proving I'm a silly goose, and he can definitely handle that. And I also thought Mrazek would because he'd be playing so many games, he would help keep Jack Campbell's number down. Whoops! I mean, whose fault is that? Is that Mrazek's fault? No. Is it Dubas's fault? I mean, Mrazek did only play 12 games last year due to injury, but goalies get hurt all the time. Oilers gave Mike Smith a 2-year deal. It's maybe not the greatest example. That's kind of hurting them right now. But you know what I mean? You can't predict an injury, and you definitely can't predict a postponement to the season. So Mrazek is number one. Oof. But then who's the backup? Hopefully Kallgren can emerge. Waltz played some games and looked good in some, not so good in others. Hutchinson is there also. And obviously Nick Ritchie, if they can move on from him, bless him and everything, but they can't afford that deal. People were talking about Mikheyev, but I'm like, with all due respect, he's on a hot streak at the moment. Mrazek's played 4 games and Ritchie's got 1 goal. So I'd start with those two and worry about the others later. Engvall at 1.25 isn't the best spent money either, especially if the cap doesn't go up. In normal times with the cap going up, we don't even think about that. Guy makes 1.25. Why are you bothering me with those details? Nobody cares. Koyoya. Did you remember to start Kyrou in your fantasy team? Oh, did I? Let me see. Oh, no. Yes, I did. Thank goodness. I got a few guys on the bench. I have too many forwards right now. But I got Nedeljkovic taking on Buffalo, which I'm feeling really good about. And I got Vasilevsky taking on Dallas, which, I mean, I'm always going to feel good about Vasilevsky in net. The only guy of consequence I have on the bench tonight who's actually playing is Alex Killorn. I got a good team otherwise. I just wish I wasn't 4-8. I started 0-6. So the way I see it, I have a winning record since I learned how to play. Dude, I suck at fantasy. That's why I never do it. This year, I'm like, I'm going to give it the old college try. Started 0-6. Tom Snipes, do you own another All-Star jersey? Which one is your favorite? I no longer do. I used to. I sold a bunch of my jerseys. I still have like 20, 25 jerseys, but I sold a bunch of them in an auction over the last couple of years for Easter seals. I had one of the old black and neon Columbus All-Star jerseys from 2015. They actually look like the Dallas jerseys now, except it was an All-Star jersey. So you're like, oh, that's cool. When the Stars wear it all the time, you're like, that's a little ridiculous. And I think that was the only All-Star jersey I owned. I didn't get one of the St. Louis ones. When I went to St. Louis, that was the last All-Star game there was, wasn't it? By the way, goodness gracious, click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends, go before puck drop. They can show up late. Lord knows I do, if I show up at all. Okay, this is a great topic. Mike, are you concerned about Marner's power play goal drought? I am, purely mentally, for him. I don't think it matters. It's something that Leafs Nation talks about far too much. And it's because Marner makes, in the minds of a lot of people, far too much. Marner's lack of power play goal scoring matters if the power play sucks. It super extraordinarily doesn't. Last year, yeah. Marner's lack of power play goal scoring last year was super relevant because their power play was super irrelevant. It was amazing how good the Leafs were despite never scoring a bloody power play goal outside of the first month of the season. But with or without Marner this season, the power play's been amazing. It's consistently been top 5 in the league. What is it right now? I think it's number 1. It's high. It's high. It's up there. They're scoring goals. Second unit too. That's been a big help this year, is that the first unit, which has struggled at times, let's admit it, hasn't had to score all the goals. So to me, I'm far more concerned 5-on-5. The Leafs have missed Marner. You know, there hasn't exactly been a ton of structure since coming back as we get ready to start the game, shutdown line on the ice. Hasn't been a ton of structure, but blowing the 4-1 lead to Colorado, blowing the 3-1 lead to Vegas, having Marner in those games would have been pretty nice. From COVID protocol as well. There's Nico Mikula for St. Louis sending it the length of the Ooh, Sammy, score prediction.
Well, Coach Keefe made it very clear after the Arizona game. Third period.
I think the coaches get a hold of this game.
5-1 on this road trip. Outshot 37-18.
Ideally, that one right there that we're looking at. I would like. Wouldn't you like a calm night? Wouldn't you like a moment's peace? I'm going to say 3-2 Leafs. Wouldn't that be so nice? Didn't your shoulders relax when I said that score? I didn't say 6-5. Even 6-5. 3-2 Leafs. Here we go! Oh, what a move. There's Marner. Setting up Michael Bunting for at very least a scoring chance. Marner on the back check. Helps to clear it. They break out again. The best Leaf on this 3-game road trip so far. Back the other way comes Ryan O'Reilly, who will shadow him most of the night. That shot is oh my God! I don't know who that is crashing the net, but I thought he put his arms in the air. Having a career year for St. Louis. Sundqvist will move up onto this line with O'Reilly. Matthews is underratedly fast. He's a horse. Left flank, and that shot turned aside by Binnington. Now Bunting around. There's Nylander swinging it back to the near side of the ice. Bunting was headed off, but... And a reminder, if this is your first stream, or if it's not your first stream and you just forgot, I cannot hear the play-by-play.
With Ryan O'Reilly versus
which I think makes it more fun, because I might miss some ridiculous things. Ivan Barbachev, right there on the St. Louis Blues. He's actually someone I picked up in fantasy, but that's not the story I'm about to tell. From Jack Campbell, good save. Ivan Barbachev, I met at the 2014 draft in Philadelphia, and he actually knew of me because I used to make videos for the KHL, which is a long time ago. But I ran into him at the draft in Philadelphia, which was his draft. And the Blues had a first-round pick that year. And I said, where do you think you're going? And he goes, the Blues really like me, so I think I'm going there. The Blues pick comes, and they take Robbie Fabry. And I thought, oh, that's a shame. Well, I wonder where Barbachev's going to go. You know where Barbachev went? St. Louis, because they had a second rounder. So St. Louis, you know, we can talk about how Fabry's tenure went there. But that's a pretty good draft in their eyes, anyway. Because they were able to get two players they really, really liked. Let me see if I can find that draft for the Blues as we're going through this. There hasn't been a goal yet. So it was Fabry 21st, Barbachev 33rd, Maxim Latunov, who they have only used for a few games, Jake Wallman. And they got Sammy Blais in that draft as well. Oh, and Viliuso. He was the backup goalie for them. They got guys. They got guys. I think any draft where you get 4 NHL players is pretty good, especially when you don't have a top pick. Their first pick was 20, what was it, first? Second? I just said? It was in the 20s.
There's Scott Perunovich back in the lineup. Elliott mentioned him in the pregame show.
See what I mean by the coaches are getting to hang in this game? There's one harrowing moment there for the Leafs, but one harrowing moment for the Blues. But, no team actually got that close to scoring. That's how damaged I am, by the way, by this Leafs team. There's 2 scoring chances 3 minutes into the game is, this is a slow affair. Ah, boy. Like, oh, man, it's like the late 90s.
Justin Hall, who is one of the 3 Leafs now on COVID protocol.
Whenever I hear kids talk about the lack of scoring in the NHL, I'm like, son, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me tell you about a guy named Dominic Hasek. Let me tell you about a team called the New Jersey Devils. Oh, no, these weren't the Devils you know. Devils who leave their net and score on themselves every 2 or 3 games. No. They would allow 3 goals a week. Oh, here we go. Oh, boy. You can't let that happen. Ryan O'Reilly gets the first of the game. Who set him up there? Falk? Getting in deep? That's brutal defense by the Leafs. Yeah, Keefe's not happy. Keefe's not happy. Like, listen. First game back from the COVID break, you're going to be rusty. Second, you're going to be rusty. Third, okay, about time you pull it together. This is number 4. And this sort of crap is going to happen all season. I believe that's Barbachev with the primary assist. This crap is going to happen all season. You got to be better than that. That's O'Reilly just walking Matthews like a dog. Yeah, top unit not looking happy because they got scored on the road. All right, not a good start. But, you know, if you've been watching these streams, maybe not a good start is the way to go. The Leafs have blown 2 4-1 leads this season. 1 to Chicago, 1 to Colorado, and they were both on a Saturday night stream for us as the Blues got another shot on goal. Blues 1 goal to the Leafs 1 shot. Suboptimal.
Comes to Riley at the line, off a stick and up onto the end glass.
I think I saw a stat today. Was it from Money Puck? The Leafs take the fewest shots from the point in the entire league. Or fewest, that's not true. Fewest shots from defensemen in the entire league, not necessarily the point. Which is odd to me because they've done a really good job this season. One thing Sheldon Keefe has really wanted. They've done a really good job getting to the net. See? Scoring chance, you get to the net. They flubbed it at the point, but they had a chance there. Oh, Campbell. Just end up on Dangits. Come on, Kyle Clifford. Revenge game. Revenge. Oh, revenge! You got to scream revenge every time Clifford gets the puck. Chat, every time Kyle Clifford touches the puck, you need you to type revenge! Have it. Type it out. Copy it. Whenever he gets the puck, paste it. Revenge!
Yes, you're out there to score goals. You're great offensive talent. But a
fourth line left wing, you're not going to be getting it too much. Oh, boy.
Down your slot, and Sheldon Keefe comes down the bench to remind him, hey, we want to be offensive, and we can't be giving up that kind of scoring opportunity to that guy.
Oh, Sheldon.
That line tonight,
and a happy man. Oh! Wow! Someone texted me because they're watching me, and you're the reason I missed that goal. Who is it, Bunting? Hey! Yeah, I don't know if you can clip that one for Twitter and their crew. What happened here? Oh, wow!
And I can tell you
no wonder I missed that. Matthews firing it
as he went straight to
like
the net, and St. Louis gets caught
holding his stick forehand, but his hands were placed backhand off the face-off, and Bunting buries it. Look at this. That's O'Reilly he cleaned out. Revenge! That's a revenge goal. He's making up for it.
It's a rebound. That's a big goal.
You know, you think you've done everything right. You're Ryan O'Reilly. I got a weird blade on my stick that helps me do stuff, like win face-offs. And Matthews says, nice stick there, Ryan. And he scores a goal. Michael Bunting is 8th of the season. He's going to win the Calder, folks. No. Sorry. I just like to remind everyone that he's eligible, which is ridiculous.
So a good start for this one.
Oh, it's Andy. It's my friend Andy. He just moved to outside of Ottawa. I was like, who the heck is texting me from a 613? Hey, watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends except Andy. He'll distract you and ruin everything. My buddy Tom texted me about Kyrou already at 37 points. Oh, Tom, I know. I hope he doesn't score any tonight. Unless the Leafs, I don't know. Like, I have a bunch of Blues on my team, so like a 7-6 game would be advantageous to your boy. But I kind of don't mind if they get left off the score sheet because I'm losing this week. I am not going to win. Nick, are you cheering for NFL teams? Okay. So, I don't really watch the NFL. I always tell people that I watch one Tom Brady game a year, which is almost literally true. It's the Super Bowl. And I used to hate him. I used to cheer against the Patriots every year just because I didn't want the same team to win every year. And then I talked to my neighbor who's a big Pats fan about it, and he sort of warmed me up to him. Then he goes to the Bucks. I talked to my neighbor, how you feeling about that? He's like a Pats/Bucks fan. Because a lot of Pats fans just love Brady so much, they cheer for the Bucks because they want him to win. Some, not all. I'm sure I just made some of you throw up in your mouth. I don't know. I don't know football. This is watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle, not watch the Bills with Steve Dangle. That's for producer Drew to do. So I'm going to say I'm cheering for the Bucks, who I understand lost a player recently because he left. He decided he didn't take his ball and went home. He said, "You can keep the ball, and also I'm going home."
What I like to see is the response after Sheldon Keefe
Leafs
went down
offensive
the
zone
bench
draw,
and gave it
which
to
is
him.
apparently
He
the
comes
most
right
dangerous
back
thing in
down
the world.
line, gets the goal and ties the game back up.
Can't look down for a moment.
Morgan Riley sends it.
Yeah.
Did some stick handling.
Dang it, watch.
The Blues get it back, and Saad with a good outlet, and away goes Kyrou.
Oh, no, it's a 2-on-1. That's dang it.
Oh!
Oh!
And the pass does not come across.
Good job. That's what I would have done. I would have said, "You're not allowed to score." That's good. I had a coffee before this stream, and I gotta say, it's made a positive difference. Kerfoot with a shot. He's had a great year. Really underrated. I think it's underrated because people are mad about how good Kadri's doing. And he should be at the All-Star game on account of he's top 5 in league scoring, and I think that means he's good. Oh! Sandin getting crunched a little bit there as he goes for a deep walk into the blue zone. Big line out there.
Marner will dump it in. Chases after to beat Justin Falk, knocked down by
Andy's brother Matt is a Bucks fan, so he'll be cheering for the Bucks. Andy is now a star of the show. Here comes Marner! Yeah! Let's go! Oh, are we worried about his power play goal drought? No! Scored it 5-on-5. Oh, no, it doesn't count. If it's 5-on-5. Look at the Blues bench. They know it. Is that Tyler Bozak?
Something that Sheldon Keefe said kind of was missing in the third periods.
What a goal by Mitch Marner. Welcome back there, bud. Who got him the puck there? Him. He got him the puck. What a shot. What a shot, and shades of his first NHL goal celebration there. Choo! Right past would-be Team Canada goalie Jordan Binnington. Boo! And the assistant captain, Mitch Marner, on the board. The Leafs with a bad start, and all of a sudden they're up 2-1. Shot 7-4. Not even 8 minutes into this game.
In any event, it's a go-ahead goal for Toronto.
That's why it's not watch the first goal with Steve Dangle. It's watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. For goodness sake, Sportsnet YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. And if you're a goalie, tend the goal. Or else you get on the coffee mug. Shopsportsnet.store. Don't put the graphic up. We're playing a game here. I only had a half calf. Why am I going?
Now Nathan Walker, the Australian.
The coffee is good.
Fires it right back out to center.
Like people, I used to say that in my LFR videos all the time, and people thought I meant the coffee tasted good. That's not what I mean. I mean it just hit. Leafs feeling it. Up, get the revenge ready. Clifford's on the ice.
Here's Costin moving in. Clint Costin. Bumped along the boards by Simmons. At the line.
Come on. Got to get the puck back for revenge.
Rebound sent wide and back.
This isn't revenge at all. This is getting hemmed in. Ah, you're offside, you stink. Revenge. Where is it?
Back into the Leaf zone.
Up the ice for revenge. Revenge. No.
Pass behind Riley.
I want Kyle Clifford to score so bad. Come on.
Morgan Riley's next point.
We need a Kyle Clifford revenge game. How many games did he even play in St. Louis?
Tavares. In behind the Blues net.
That's why it's revenge. Oh! Nylander with a good read. He always makes those. This is great pace to this game. Tavares! Scores! Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. I got a temper. The Leafs are less than half a period into this game. They're up 3-1. That's good news for most teams. And here I am, a veteran of watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. We've already seen 2 4-1 leads get blown this season, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know.
Everybody's above the Leaf players. You can't leave
this is at least the second time in the last couple years. Well, last year they didn't play in the States at all. The second time in the last couple years where Jordan Binnington has not had a good night against the Leafs. I don't think he's going to get pulled here. I think that might have been deflected. But Johnny Toronto with the goal. And I think, did I see Berube call a timeout? I think I might have. Oh, hey! See? You see? What a broadcaster. I couldn't hear them or nothing. December 7th, 2019, Binnington got fed.
4 goals on 11 shots.
7 goals against in the last 19 shots versus the Leafs. That's unbelievable. Is Viliuso going in? Oh, he's got those don't do it to me, coach. He's got those don't do it to me, coach eyes. Underrated thing about beating the Blues, Steve Ott is still in the organization as an assistant coach.
I mean, look, those last 2 shots by Marner and Tavares, point blank, slot, hash marks.
If I'm not mistaken, Viliuso is part of a Leafs trade tree video. He's definitely part of a trade tree video that we did. I just don't remember which. Toskala? I think it might be Toskala. No. I can't remember. I haven't taken any questions for a while because, I don't know, it's 4 goals in 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes. Here's what's going to happen. Kyle Clifford is going to score to make it 4-1, revenge, and then we're all going to collectively poop our anxieties. Pants. Our anxieties pants. Our anxiety wears pants. That's how big our anxiety is. It's fully clothed. Has a job, an apartment in Leslieville, you know.
And it goes to Matthews. Matthews out of the corner.
It has a good job. Oh! Oh, man, if that went in.
Leafs are swarming in the blue zone.
All right, we went from not looking down at the goals being scored to I cannot look down. I'm not allowed. Okay, I'm going to look down real quick. Camden. Did Nylander get snubbed for the All-Star game? It's weird. There's just certain guys where the NHL just goes, nah. We don't like your name. You're not name brand enough. For the Leafs, it's at least somewhat understandable. Matthews, you're going to have go to the game. Campbell's in the Vezina conversation. He deserves to go to the game. Tavares is the captain. He's a star. He deserves to be, like, in the conversation anyway. Nylander, though, having an amazing season. But then the star power conversation loses its gusto a little bit when you're like, oh, Adrian Kempe is going. He's 10 points behind Anze Kopitar on his own team. He's got 23 points and he's going to the All-Star game? Like, no disrespect or anything, but... And Kadri's not going. Pardon? Marchand? Pardon? Crosby? Pardon? It's all very confusing. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends the Leafs are up 3-1. Heavens. Good heavens. BM. Do you have a trade deadline target in mind? It's got to be a right defenseman. And that's not a wishful thinking thing. That is a it has to happen thing. Because in what universe do the Toronto Maple Leafs play 4 to 7 games against the Florida Panthers with this D-core and win? In what universe do the Toronto Maple Leafs take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the first round with this D-core and win? With the Boston Bruins, the way that they're playing, do you think this is the D-core that finally slays the dragon? I don't. Bless Timothy Liljegren. He's a bit of an X factor, right? Hall, I think we've seen the best of. We've seen him at his peak. Is his peak good enough? It appears no. Liljegren is still a bit of an unknown quantity as the Blues head to the power play. Second-ranked power play in the league. Leafs with the 8th penalty kill. Pretty good. And Marner's back. That helps. Timoth out there instead of Hall. David Kampf, what an addition he's been. the hero of the one game where the Leafs blew a 4-1 lead and still managed to win in regulation against the Blackhawks. That was revenge. You see why I'm so excited about revenge. Crappy pass. Good cover from Mitch. Again, man, like,
That's a great job by Marner there. He
I don't know.
Jordan
I understand why
knows he wants to
people
get
are
back.
sour about the contract and everything, but like, guy tries. Tries every game. He didn't ask for the cap to stay flat. He wishes the cap would go up, even though he's got his contract. Maybe people would get off his back.
Blues are second on the power play. They're fifth on the penalty kill. Anything under 10, when you add them together, is awesome. Under 5 is insanely good, but under 10, and then there's
Reminder, by the way, Sid Sixero coming for the second period, first intermission. If there are any goals left, goodness gracious, already 4 in this game.
Seattle got one last power play chance and made the most of it, and won a one-goal comeback game against Seattle.
Will says, is the getting goalied argument ever useful? No, it's not. Oh, God. I was going to expand on that, but... Okay. No, it's not, Will. Because once in a blue moon, I understand it. Once in a blue moon... Oh, what a stop by Campbell! Goalieing the Blues. Love it. Never mind, it's a real thing and it's great. No, getting goalied once in a blue moon, like what Vimelka did to the Leafs the other night. I mean, he was spectacular. What are you going to do? Here comes Marner. Shorthanded, he's got Bunting with him, I think. No, it's no longer shorthanded. Sorry, at the end of the penalty kill. He's still out there. Keith throwing the big boys out. Blues got the puck. Through traffic, Campbell stops it.
Up with the rebound, and Matthews on the right side for Bunting, too far.
But last year, Leafs lose game 5, 6, and 7 to the Montreal Canadiens. Did you know that? Were you there for that? Did you read in the paper about that? But they have Price.
I
don't really feel like an adequate excuse. Because, like, they had Price in games 1 through 4. You know? Did he score? Did Carey Price score 2 Joel Armia goals in the first period of game 5? No? Did Carey Price give the puck away in overtime of game 5? Did Carey Price do a spinorama in the Leafs zone in overtime in game 6? No, he did stop 13 shots. The Leafs literally were about to beat Montreal right then and there. They were out shooting Montreal 13-1 in that overtime. Travis Dermott does a spinorama, and that's it for game 7. And then they play their worst game of the series. Like, what are you supposed to do? And when they blew that 3-1 lead, were you like, just got goalie? No, you were probably pretty mad. Revenge! Kyle Clifford, revenge! Oh, that's a revenge poke check. Oh! Come on, Wayne. That's a good fourth-line shift.
Now they've got another lead. He's going to look for a lot different.
Riley asks, shouldn't you be playing defense? Oh, he spells it different. They spell it different. Would you consider the Leafs to be a clean team? Do they need more grit? I think the Leafs actually, compared to previous years, have an underratedly heavy style. I mean, the Blues are probably the heaviest team in the league. So if anyone's going to give the Leafs a challenge in that department, it's going to be them. Nylander strong on the puck. Muzzin's not a pushover, obviously. In terms of depth, Spets is big. Clifford's there. Richie's there. Wayne's there. Mikheyev is at very least big. Engvall is big and has a bit of a nasty streak sometimes. Sandin will hit and get hit. Kasha is tenacious and we know can take a beating because he does every single game. Bunting is an enormous jerk. Whoa! Tavares is hard to knock off the puck. Are we getting a tripping call here? Oh, Barbachev's down. Oh, no. I saw him get tripped up. I didn't see exactly how. Was this a knee? I hope not. Oh, I thought that was Mikheyev. That was Dermott. Oh, boy. I'd have to get another look. I wouldn't be surprised if that was 2 minutes. And I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Dermott gets a little call. The standard for kneeing appears to be 2 games. I don't know. I'd have to get another look at that. That was a tough collision for Barbachev. Hopefully it was more of a Charlie horse than a hyperextension. But, I mean, those aren't fun either. Anyway, last year, instead of getting Taylor Hall, the Leafs went and got Nick Foligno. And I don't know. People talk about that trade like, oh, man, it's the wrong move. Like, dude, he broke his back. Like, you can't evaluate it. Like, yes, Dubas gave up all these assets, but he wasn't even able to see his vision realized. The guy got hurt. That's the risk you run, right? Like, I'm trying to think of, like, a big, like, playoff acquisition that a team made. And, you know, oh, man, they couldn't have won it without that player. And then they got hurt. Carolina. Go look at the Carolina Hurricanes who won the Cup. Go look at their team on paper. It's kind of shocking. And go look at how they looked on paper before the trade deadline. If any of those guys who they acquired at the deadline, I want to say, who was it, Recchi? And Waite? Doug Waite, I think, was, they got him from the Blues. What if Doug Waite gets hurt? And then they lose. Oh, stupid trade to get Doug Waite. Well, guy got hurt. What are you doing? Yeah, Dermott got Barbachev right on the knee. Let's see. Let's take a look here. It was it looked like a little above the knee. So hopefully just a stinger. Barbachev getting helped off, but he does skate off mostly on his own, and doesn't look like there's a penalty.
A guy who's been top of the league since November 9th. He's fourth scoring in the National Hockey League since November 9th.
We'll see if there's any follow-up tomorrow.
Out of their lineup, so the Blues are really decimated, but no one feels sorry for you. I can tell you the Leafs don't.
There was a bouncing puck there. I got confused. Oh, we got a breakaway. Engvall.
Stop for the rebound, and Mikheyev had his stick lifted. May have been clipped with a high stick.
Hold on to the puck.
O'Reilly puts it on goal. Loose puck in front.
Bennington with a juicy rebound. The Leafs again. This is one thing I think they've done really well this season in terms of possession. It's all useful possession. Like, this is exhausting. This is an exhausting shift, even though they just flubbed it at the blue line. Like, that was not a fun shift for St. Louis. I don't know exactly how dangerous it was, apart from Engvall's little break. But that was exhausting. And now here comes Matthews. Here come the big boys while they're reeling. And again, they get sustained zone time. Matthews, he doesn't get all of it. I thought his stick broke. This is a great little run for the Leafs here. Good effort. Yeah, Muzzin holds it. Leafs still got it. Is that not textbook what they're trying to get rid of in front of the net there? What happened to Bunting there? See, the Blues are starting to get in the Leafs' face. This is, I hate to say it, this is the sort of game the Leafs need to weather. What is this? From Torrey Krug. Watch, this is going to be coincidentals. Oh, you were both in there, so you're both going. Bunting getting mugged. Getting mugged. Where's your wallet, Mike?
Bunting must have taken it out on Krug.
Well, they thought the hit.
Yeah, where were you going, Torrey?
Questionable.
Opposite direction of the penalty box. Oh, so Bunting saying he got run into the boards. I don't know if that was necessarily bad intention. Mikkola gets in his face. Bunting gives him a little shove. Bunting's not afraid of anybody. I didn't like that size math. That math wasn't mathing too good. And then Krug, I mean, real tough. He's not even looking. This better be a Leafs power play. Bunting didn't do anything. Disgraceful.
So it's a late call for unsportsmanlike against Bunting, and then Krug for roughing.
So I can't hear the broadcast. Maybe they're giving a...
At the end of the day, the Maple
Okay,
Leafs
it is a
have to
power
just
play.
Focus in on what they've been doing since they got the lead in this game, which is continue
It's-
to play defense by playing good offensively. And that's been the big thing.
What a joke. What a joke.
That got the attention of the NHL, and Mikkola certainly got the attention of the...
Can't imagine Brian Burke was too happy about that, eh?
Well, I'm sure that's not the last time they'll deal with that incident with Sidney Crosby.
Well, Bunting,
it's
not for the first time this season, gets 2 minutes for chirping.
You know, there's sometimes an ice
And the guy who hit him gets 2 minutes for he friggin' should have unsportsmanlike.
to have to defend, and that's what the Leafs have done, and the Blues have turned over.
Get a life.
It's led to a lot of Leaf chances.
Oh my God, the officiating in this league.
Four skaters aside, Falk's got it.
Oh,
St. Louis.
oh.
O'Reilly.
This is why I say good. The Leafs need to weather this crap because this is how it's gonna be this and worse in the playoffs. It is every year without fail. Oh, we're cutting down on cross-checking. They got bored of that by American Thanksgiving. Joe.
Along with
Joe.
Riley over the line, trying to swing wide on that big wingspan of Mikkola.
Why is viewership down? Why?
Back the other way come the Blues.
Listen to the fans, for God's sake.
Matthews. Riley sends it around. Neat pass from Marner, and here comes Matthews jumping up.
A body check to a prone player is worth the same as a player being impolite.
Matthews from the corner. Nylander's out on the ice, and that pass back rolls into Toronto territory.
Well, who busted a hump to get all the way down the ice on the offense.
I don't know if you heard that. That was my chest.
That
was a good crack. Holy smokes, Florida. What did Columbus do to you on the out-of-town scoreboard? 6-0. Here comes Willie.
300 in his career. And he takes a lap in the blue zone. Back to Sandin. Final minute, first period. Leafs have scored 3 straight to answer an opening goal by Ryan O'Reilly.
Brad Meyer calling this game. Now you're offside there, Willie. Oh my God, Willie.
Was watched by Bozak.
That man used to be your teammate, Willie.
Got a stick on it.
He is some kind of slick right now.
He played on a line, probably.
Every which way. He fooled about 3 guys in the neutral zone, and good on Brunovich to kind of stay with him there.
Marner was.
On display with the skill sets.
Less than 30 seconds to go in this period. It's gone pretty well for Toronto. After it didn't. Blues scored first, and it's kind of been all Leafs since. Out shooting the Blues and outscoring with 3 relatively quick goals. Binnington, dating back to 2019, allowing 7 goals from the Leafs on 19 shots. It's obviously more than 19 now. But the Leafs head into first intermission. Jordan Binnington has not pretended to try to fight anybody, and the Leafs are winning, but they're the Leafs, so I am nervous. Don't call me negative. They've blown 2 4-1 leads during these streams. I'm a little gun shy. Watch our Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Well, that was a fun period. Before we go to intermission, I'll answer a couple more of your questions, and then we will get Sid Sixero on the line, everybody. Allison, how does playing at home or on the road impact the outcome of the game? I think, well, obviously there's the line change aspect of it all, and it's much easier to match. Easier for the coach to get what they want at home. If you see a team with a far worse home record than the road, it's a little bit of what's going on there with the head coach. But I'd say it's mostly a comfort thing. It's, what were you doing during the day? How did you sleep? you know, being around family and loved ones and getting to sleep in your own bed, I think is a big part of rest and recovery. And when you use your body for a living, like a professional athlete to the, you know, highest degree, that matters. That matters big time. I will say I do love a hotel bed. Big fan. Big blanket hog right here. And Ruby. Is that the Made in Canada jersey? Is it? Is there a Made in Canada jersey? I'm not sure what you mean. It's All-Star. Las Vegas. I got the other one too. This one reminds me, remember the old McDonald's toys with the Muppets? Remember Animal? Remember that guy? I had one and he wore a jersey just like this. I want to say that was the year where they had like a diagonal, like a star thing on the stripes. Because I think that was the year where Owen Nolan did the point at Dominic Hasek and scored at an All-Star game that I think was in San Jose, but I'm not entirely sure. All right. We're going to head to break. I dropped my pen. We're going to head to break. And after we break, we're going to have Sid Cicero, who is hopefully not sleeping.
Well, I know you're loved by the fans there, but it didn't exactly start that way. When you first were traded to the Blues in '95, they traded away Brendan Shanahan for you. They loved Shanny. You actually got booed by the home crowd at the beginning, didn't you?
Yeah, I was public enemy number one. It wasn't it was not the easiest of transitions. Normally you get booed in the away building, but I was getting booed in the home building. It was not easy, but I think that's what makes this that much sweeter is fighting through that adversity. And you know, I didn't exactly blow the doors off with my play either. So getting through that, learning how to be a pro.
What would you say, though, is the biggest misconception out there about you?
Everybody always points out the mean streak and the quasi-dirty play, and they forget that I was a good passer. They forget that I could quarterback a power play. They forget that I killed penalties. They forget a lot of the other stuff. And that's okay because the mean side created this mystique and created the edge that gave me a little extra time on the ice, allowed me to, you know, buy an extra half a second to make a play or what have you. But there's a little bit more to my game than just that.
Did you ever, though, do something that you ended up regretting? Like, did you think, I went a bit too far there?
Nope.
I love your honesty.
As Berkey says, when you're driving fast, you're bound to get a few speeding tickets. So it comes with the territory.
What would you say you miss the most about being an NHL hockey player?
The rush of adrenaline as you're coming through the tunnel onto the ice, and you can feel the energy in the building as a playoff game is about to start, and just, you know, being in that moment and kind of relishing the buzz in the building and what's at stake and the momentum swings and things like that. In everyday life, that's very hard to replicate.
What do you not miss at all about playing in the NHL?
I don't miss waking up sore every day. However, I still wake up sore every day, but you know, I just a toll it takes on you. You know, I wouldn't change it for the world, but it certainly takes its toll, and you know, that's the cost of doing business and the cost of playing a physical sport at a high speed on blades on ice. I enjoyed every minute of it. I had a blast playing, and you know, if I could do it all over again, I would.
I saw last month you joined Twitter at Chris Pronger. You've got like way over 17,000 followers already. First question, what took you so long?
You know what? I talked to a few friends of mine that actually worked at Twitter and know me, and they're like, you know, you need to, I would hold off. I wouldn't engage in the masses. There's a lot of stupidity on there.
I haven't gotten into any Twitter battles yet.
I'm unwilling to get into a keyboard contest with somebody who I don't know nor care about when they're being rude or disrespectful. So I just hit the block button and move along and engage with those that want to have a real discussion about real world issues and real world life. Happy to participate in that type of stuff, but the silly kids games can run along with where they belong.
Chris, what do you think is going to be going through your mind as you see that number 44 being raised to the rafters on January 17th?
A lot of pride on a number of fronts. I think happy, is kind of the last piece of a long career. Turn the page on hockey and 2.0, 3.0 will fully begin. It's a lot of pride, a lot of humility, and certainly to go up with the cast of characters that are going to be up there, and Al, Bobby Gassoff, Bob Plager, Barclay Plager, Brian Sutter, Brett Hull, Bernie Federico, myself, and Dan Kelly. It's pretty special to be a part of that group.
Well, it's an honor that is very well deserved, and congratulations to you, and thank you for spending some time with us here today.
New year, same bit. All hinges on whether this team can make it out of the first round.
I think I'm still defrosting from the Winter Classic.
At least our outdoor game won't be that cold. This is what we get for people finally saying that we're a legit team. The only thing positive about this team has been our COVID test. Pain for Shane. Is anyone else concerned about us surviving a cramped schedule in the second half? I'm not sure what I enjoy more right now. Our win streak or watching Philly implode? Maybe we should just build our new arena in the metaverse. I'm just hoping the Bruce bump lasts into 2022.
I'm digging this new style we have here.
A bad stretch for us is what other teams call a hot streak. I'm just here to show my undying love for Jack Hughes. Okay, but where will Eichel fit into this lineup when everyone is healthy? At least we got a team puppy. Who am I kidding? We're never gonna be completely healthy. At least fighting for the first overall pick is better than being in the middle of the pack. I'm excited we're in first, but also terrified we're gonna be next year's Canadians. We all know Zegras is going to be robbed of the Calder.
That was a dirty hit on Kirill.
Sider is an absolute beast. I cannot wait to see him win the Calder. Remember how fun October was? We'd be in the playoff bubble right now if it weren't for our special teams. I guess all gas, no brakes catches up to you, huh? Between Ovi and Lavi, this team has enough character to overcome anything. Can we start a GoFundMe so Rod can keep yelling at the refs? Adam Fox playing 30 minutes a game might not be the worst idea. At least we're better than this year's expansion team. We may not make the playoffs, but at least one of us saved somebody's life. I think we've finally been through enough adversity for a legit cup run. So this team just isn't good enough to win, and we've been lying to ourselves, haven't we? The hot streak was fun, but can we actually focus on rebuilding now? I, for one, would welcome Tuukka back to this team. Can we please just commit to tanking? Just throw it all away. Is anyone else happy that Vasi will have a nice break for the Olympics now? I really need a new jersey and a hat. Rest in peace, Ovi the Bulldog. Thank God we protected our picks in the top 10. Montreal's gonna steal our first overall pick at this rate.
I'm getting recklessly optimistic about this team's chances.
At least our new arena is nice, if you can get parking. How is Corey Perry still scoring on us? He's not even in our division. We can't even beat Arizona right now.
Oh yeah, -10, balmy spring day.
All right, it's just like yesterday morning, bud.
It's exactly like yesterday morning.
It's all you.
It is a carbon copy. Hello, welcome back to BT. Steve Dangle isn't here.
I'm Dina. Hey, how you doing? Steve Dangle here with Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends that the Leafs are winning 3-1. Hope they don't blow it like last time. And Sid Sixero has joined us. Yay! Hooray! Hooray!
Let the record show, Steven. I showed up on time for your thing.
And not asleep.
With COVID, I may add. I showed up on time to your stream.
If there's a pandemic and you got the pandemic thing,
Yes.
and I don't
Yes.
have that excuse and I missed it anyway.
No. But again, I saw the top of the pod yesterday with the guys. It was very funny. It was very funny. And I was in such a state yesterday where it's like, it's hilarious. It doesn't matter. I'm just happy to be doing a show. I'm just happy to be seen. You know what I mean?
I think it matters.
Yes, I don't know. This week I had some different clarity on things.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, they cut the clip. All right, so what you're seeing, shout out to everyone on YouTube. What you're seeing is Devo Brown, the very talented Devo Brown,
and not me,
who's working tonight, by the way, as well, as he always does on a Saturday. Shout out, Set It Off, DJ Climax. We are tap dancing live on air, wondering where the hell Steve Dangle is at like 8:20 in the morning, because we had agreed to have him on. And Steve, without belaboring the point, because it's an interesting game that's developing here, so we're going to focus on the game. What was the reasoning for the no-show yesterday on breakfast television?
I was asleep.
Sleep.
I was straight up, not just asleep. I was asleep. I woke up, got up, and I went, do I have any commitments? No. And I went right back to sleep. I was catching up from the two 10 p.m. games. On Wednesday, I was up till 3 in the morning, had to do the LFR, and then I had to get up at 7 to take my kid to the doctor, because you have to take kids to the doctor sometimes.
All the time, yeah.
So I was really, really sleepy, and I was catching up, and I hadn't caught up by Friday, and do I have any commitments? No, I don't. And I missed, it's the biggest morning show in the country, I think.
Whatever. You know what? Labels aren't important.
They're a little bit important.
It's just it's about, doing the best job you can, Steve. Whatever, we're number one. It doesn't matter. It's just we wanted to give you a platform. The funny thing is, I've invited you on plenty of times at 6:40 in the morning, which I know, and you usually are there. You had that one frantic one where you were a little late, but God bless everyone who comes on breakfast television at 6:40 in the morning, because I don't get a lot of no's. Like, it's a lot of Sportsnet people and good sports people who come on and give their takes, and it's great. So, but I could tell, like, I know you live watching the games. Like, I know that's not a good time of the day for you. So every time I ask Steve Dangle to come on, I'm like, this is a tough ask. And I know it's a tough ask, but he's Steve Dangle, and he's one of the great guys. So you always come on.
What a guy.
But in my mind, I'm like, at 8:18 in the morning, this won't be an issue.
It's literally the best time slot I've ever gotten.
It was the best time slot we've ever booked you for, ever. We'll do a make good, as we say. We'll do a make good. It'll be fine. So that's the tweet I sent out earlier today. I was kind of a DB about it, but I'm watching the Leafs game tonight. I'll drop by after the first period and stick around, because that was the agreed upon time by all parties for me to show up. I have a deep respect for Steve, his time, and his entire team. God bless. Should be fun.
Stop turning the knife. That's 6-0. Stop turning.
Which is exactly what you tweeted.
Sorry.
Stop turning the knife.
Stop turning the faca. See, I know Portuguese.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, and let's just throw this out there. I don't know if Italy's going to take on Portugal in March, but that'll be fun for a World Cup spot.
Half of me is. I always get to half pretend twice about soccer. I get to go, I was cheering for Italy, and then they get eliminated. No, I was cheering for England the whole time. It's a great thing about being a mutt. You get to say, I'm cheering for two teams. I'm 1/16th Norwegian. Do they have a good team?
Erling Haaland's pretty good. So let me, Steve, can I lay out kind of what I envision for this?
Absolutely. You host the show.
I know it's your stream.
Yeah.
Okay. So, because when I was invited on, I was excited. But then I didn't know, like, the rhythm for every stream. And here's how I envision this for Steve and myself and you watching online. Like, we're going to zone out here during the game and literally watch the game, and we'll shoot the breeze during stoppages and whatever. But, like, do not humor me here. Like, I'm not here, like, to conduct an hour and 45-minute interview.
No.
Let's watch the game. Like, legitimately watch the game, if that's cool with you, Steve.
We can do that.
Let's
But
do
you
that.
gotta make me a promise.
Okay.
I've already seen the Leafs blow 2 4-1 leads, like literally in the last month on these streams. Once against Chicago, and then last week against Colorado, and that was even worse because producer Drew, who I work with the most, is an Avalanche fan. So that was really tough. I can't have a third. I need the good mojo.
Steve, I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh no.
You know they're blowing this lead now that I'm here, right? Like you know this.
Oh yeah,
everyone on the stream, you know this is happening. I'm not rooting for it. Marner looks great. He's got some pitch in his giddy up, if that's the saying. Like everyone's looking fine. Like I'm just telling you, I am the mush. Guaranteed. 100%. The Leafs are blowing this. I'm not rooting for it, but there's no way the good vibes continue with me here. There's no way.
You know,
man, you knew this when you invited me. This was trouble. You knew this.
I think here's what's going to happen. Will Kyle Clifford's revenge goal, because he's getting one, he's getting revenge on the Blues for trading him. Will his revenge goal be the 4-1, the 5-1, or the 6-1? My bet is the 7-1.
It'll be the 4-1 that no one remembers when they blow the 4-1 lead.
No!
Yes.
No!
That's how it's. By the way, I didn't like that Dermott hit at all.
Yeah.
At all.
I thought it was going to get a look. Here's the thing. They literally call 2 minutes for kneeing. He gets maybe a game. But now the standard is 2. If Barbachev is done for the night, the standard's 2 games.
Agreed.
So,
Agreed.
But there is no standard because who was it who hit Rasmus Sandin? I know. Oh, it was Pionk.
Yeah.
So he got 2 games. And then the very next night, the Jets take on Carolina. One of the Hurricanes throws a very similar knee against Mark Scheifele. Nothing. I think he got a fine. Like, that's a slam dunk. You get 2 in 24 hours.
That's your NHL consistency right there.
Yeah. You write the one suspension in pencil, and then you just switch the names. But no. So there's the consistency that we get there. As the second period has begun. Here, watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe to all of your friends. Tell Sid.
So, boy, the Bozak hype train slowed down in St. Louis, eh?
Dude, there was a moment earlier this stream where I was legitimately like, Bozak?
Yeah, Bozak.
I forgot.
I was going through the stats, some of the stats saying on the Blues, and I'm like, way down at the bottom. There's Tyler. Mind if I have a chip?
Oh, buddy, have all the chips. Oh, I'm so jelly. I'm very jelly of your chips. We used to, during the playoffs last year, I would have like, whoa!
That was a chance.
Nice little scoring chance. Bozak has 1 goal and 6 assists in 30 games this season. Oh dear, oh heavens. And 3 of them are coming tonight. And Dakota, so it's going to be a Tyler Bozak natural hat trick to tie the game, and Dakota Joshua, who the Leafs drafted, is going to get the winner.
The Bozak revenge game.
The Bozak revenge game. A team that gave him lots of money. He needs revenge on them. So I don't want to do the whole Oprah, Barbara Walters, whatever thing, but
yeah.
we have questions from the chat.
Shoot.
We're willing to take those.
Yeah. For sure.
The Blues charge up the ice. Here, let's wait and see if this turns into anything. No, it doesn't, because they stink. Hooray. Ah!
All right. Campbell had to work there.
From Jason, how did Sid get his start? I suppose in the biz.
In the biz. I think that's what they're talking about, the biz. I went to Mississauga here, or I went to high school here in Mississauga, and I did. I wanted to get in a media school in some way, and Ryerson wanted no part of me, and I basically didn't get into any media school except for the one.
Here comes JT.
Bars is looking good tonight. I didn't get into any media school except for the only one that had me audition, and that was Humber College Radio. I did a very quick. That was the only one where you did a quick. They handed you like a radio script, and I did a 2-on-1.
Get down. Good pair of saves there.
They're not going to be able to afford Campbell, are they?
No. God, wow. We lasted about 5 minutes before we got there, Sid.
Sorry, it's just one good save after another from Campbell. He's on the break. So I don't know if I get the story in considering the pace of this game right now.
I know, it's tough. It's some games you can, other games you can't. The Leafs are defending a lead, so you can't.
Oh.
Like, look at that. That's the Blues starting to try to come back. That's them warming up.
3-on-2. What is going on here?
Pace?
There it is.
Whee! Yeah,
Bennington's got it. So I went. I did an audition for Humber College. It was just a 2-year radio program. That was the only one that let me in. One of the darkest moments in sports media history in Canada. Humber College allowed me into their program. I did 2 years. I got an internship at what was at the time Headline Sports, which turned into the Score Television Network. And I just kind of worked slowly my way up. And I started to gain the trust of people. And, you know, Steve Dangle will tell you, and anyone in this business will tell you, long-term success or longevity of any kind is just earning people's trust above you. And I'd like to think I've done that. So that's basically it. And now I'm sitting here watching a Leaf game, eating chips with Dangle. I can't complain.
Don't listen to Sid, kids. What you're supposed to do is sleep in through interviews and forget to tell anyone and just forget to show up entirely. You know? Show up late so that you look cool? No. You know what's better than late? Never. Show up, never. You know, my parents were originally mad because you're like, oh, Steve Dangle's coming on. And they were originally mad because, he didn't even tell us.
They didn't know?
No. It was a busy week and I'd forgotten to tell them.
Well,
had I told them, they might have been like, good luck.
You really could not have cared less about that hit yesterday.
No, I messed up.
You didn't tell anybody? You forgot about it twice?
Well, it was two very aggressively different wake-ups because the first wake-up, oh no! Oh, there we go.
That happened.
Well, the Leafs crease is made of Charmin, and it's a good product, but you know it's
Jake
not.
Again. Oh no!
Muzzin just gets
Jake.
crunched.
Oh, Muzzin. We gotta have the Jake Muzzin conversation, man.
Oh, you know what?
Something's not right.
That's not great defense in front of the net, but that's a crafty play. Mikkola off the boards on purpose.
You're giving him on purpose for that?
Oh yeah, that looked like it was on purpose, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if O'Reilly got that. I think that might have been Matthews.
Could have been.
I thought that was on purpose. It was too casual for it to have been an accident. You know what I mean? If he blasted it, I'd be like, "Oh no, you just suck." But that was very intense.
Other stuff in his game, then, if that's on purpose, that's pretty sharp.
Jeff Merrick right now is like, okay, we need the defenseman bounces the puck off the boards competition.
I love the backward skating idea. I'm with Merrick 100% on this.
Oh, you are?
I'm 100%. Anyone who power skated is like, let's go, lay odds. Let's lay the bets. I'm down.
I've been to an all-star game. I don't know. I mean, nothing's better than a race. Like, that gets people going.
Racing backwards. I'm not saying don't race. Are you going? Are you going to Vegas?
No, I went to the last one, which was in St. Louis, actually. And they started with fastest skater, which I thought was interesting because I'm like, okay, well, where do you go from here? And they should not have started with fastest skater.
No.
Because that's what people come to watch. But you want to keep people watching. And You know,
that's like Bon Jovi opening up with "Living on a Prayer." You can't do that.
remember that competition where they were standing on a platform and they had to get it into like the
Yeah,
net
and they brought
targets?
out every Kachuk.
And
Yeah.
and on TV, did that stink?
By the end of it, I didn't hate it.
Okay.
It went too long.
Yes.
I would agree with that. But by the end of it, I didn't like. There was something about it like I couldn't turn away from. And it wasn't like it wasn't the train like the car crash mentality. It was like I found it semi-entertaining by the end of it, but it was a bit too long.
What it needed for excitement, and I think what kept you hooked, is you're like, someone might do well at this, and then no one did. Like, someone had to win, but like no one was really good at it. They did, you know, there were some. Oh my God!
I just got here, dude. I just got here. I'm sorry.
20 seconds.
I'm sorry. I'm just eating some salt and vinegar chips. Minding my own business. I swear to God.
Sid, first period, when you weren't here and you weren't watching, it's okay. I'm only a little hurt. First period, we had the conversation about what the Leafs need at the deadline, and I was talking about their defense, and I was talking about there's no way these guys go 4 to 7 games against the Panthers, the Lightning, the Bruins. There's just no way. The other thing we talked about was this is the 4th game of this road trip. All right? You had the COVID break. You lose your swagger. You lose the little run that you're on. I get it. But at some point, you got to get it back. And this is now the 3rd multi-goal lead they've blown in 4 nights. Come on! You blow a 4-1 lead and lose. All right, well, the Avs are good. You blow a 3-1 lead to Vegas. All right, well, at least you won. You didn't blow a lead to Arizona. You just plumb lost. I don't care if you got goalied. It's the damn Coyotes. And now you've blown a 3-1 lead to the Blues, and they're about to go up on you.
Look at this.
They're about to go up on you.
Timeout. Keith. Timeout. Wayne Simmons needs to grab somebody. Just grab anybody.
Clifford, revenge. Revenge.
Your obsession with this Clifford revenge game
I'm
is
trying
disturbing.
to make Kyle Clifford interesting. Clifford revenge.
It's disturbing how focused you are on Kyle Clifford.
You know what?
Let him have it, of course. Wake up, man. By the way, one of the things I came away with watching All or Nothing on Amazon, the potty mouth on Sheldon Keefe.
Oh, he's such a head
Wow.
coach.
I'm not too different either, but like his media persona and the behind the scenes persona did not match.
So
Did
different.
not match.
No,
Like Tortorella everywhere is kind of the same.
look at Marner. Dude, you gotta stop this. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. The sad puppy dog face. Guys.
This is a timeout.
Paul McLean. Well, yeah. Usually the Sheldon Keefe timeout comes before they blow it. And then they blow it after the timeout. They've already blown it.
Did I tell you the timeout story at the funeral home? Did I ever tell you this story?
I beg your pardon? What? No.
So this was after 2013 Boston Game 7. Like the winter after, or the summer after.
You got to clarify. I don't know what game you're talking about.
You should check it out on YouTube. It was very eventful.
That's a joke, you see. All right.
I've never seen real sports like it was that night.
Oh.
I heard glasses breaking at the end of that game.
Oh, yeah.
I've never, we were a level up. Anyway.
It was probably Adam Wilde. He was there.
It might have been. So it's the summer after the Leafs blow the lead. I'll make this quick. I'm at a wake, and on my wife's side, and an older gentleman comes up to me and goes, like Italian, Sid, hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Good to see you. Silence for 5 seconds. He goes, those are my 3 daughters there. That's Maria. That's Abraham. I'm like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. They're all here. It's good. Family's important. He's like, 5-second pause. He goes, it's life. What are you gonna do? We go, what are you gonna do? Yeah, it's life. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what do you
5-second pause. Turns to me and goes, the Randy Carlisle should have called the timeout.
Oh!
With a wink. There is a dead person in the room with us. Randy Carlisle should have called the timeout.
Sid, I just laughed so hard I almost fainted.
I will never forget that.
The Randy Carlisle.
The Randy Carlisle should have called the timeout. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, Tavares is fine. He's fine. Bennington didn't have to do much there. He just ran out of room. That was a Coke, by the way. I don't know if you heard that. That was a Coke.
Okay. Overtime,
Soda.
2 beers.
Soda tonight.
Thomas with a shoulder check is bumped by Tavares.
It's been a long week, Steven.
Yeah. So yeah, it seems like you're really beat up by this whole COVID thing.
It hits you in the afternoon. You get a little tired.
Yeah.
Take a nap. I'm not a napper. Like even during the show during the week, I don't nap. I just sleep when I sleep.
That's surprising.
But because if I sleep during the day, I can't sleep at night. I'm done.
I got you.
But last few days with this, the fatigue.
Here we go.
There you go. Is that Krug again?
No, that was on the Blues.
Yeah.
I didn't see what he did. I just saw Kerfoot lose the puck. Oh, Mikheyev! Come on!
What a pass!
Come on, Cobra! Such a much better name than Sid. Perf, you're killing me.
This period's been nuts.
The Alexander Kerfoot, yes, the shoot.
He needs to make more passes behind the net.
Hey!
There we go.
Hooray! Timo! I think. Let me check to be sure. I believe that is his first National Hockey League goal. Timothy Liljegren.
Oh, Liljegren. Yeah, they've only been waiting 4 years for that.
Timothy Liljegren. Yeah, it took a long while for him to get to the league, but here he is in his 34th NHL game, his 21st this season, with his first National Hockey League goal. Hey, Timmy. It's the mustache. Kids, grow a mustache, score a goal. That's how it works. You know what? Yeah, there he is.
There's the puck.
That's where we talk about veterans. Yeah, you know.
Right here.
A young guy, he would never remember. Spezza.
Right there. Right there.
I feel like last year someone got their own first goal puck. I can't remember who it was, which I think is just
to the net and got their own puck.
The cockiest thing ever. Was it Stützle? Who did it? I can't remember who it was. As Sid Sixero has another chip. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. I have heart palpitations. Tell all your friends. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. There you go. Well, Jason, I hope you liked Sid's answer to how did Sid get his start. Way too much happened in that period so far. Yeah. Hugo asks, what's been Sid's favorite interview? And you can't answer the Italian man at the wake.
Top 5 though.
Top 5.
That's easy. A top 5.
Easy.
I think it was the day. Bianca Andreescu came into the studio for Tim and Sid when she won the U.S. Open, like the next day.
Oh wow!
Because, like no one at home would know this, but the madness that was going on behind the scenes when it's like Elvis came.
Right.
It was like Elvis came to the Rogers Building in downtown Toronto, and a lot of the executives come down to say hello. You know what I mean? It's that big, and there are people around our studio that normally aren't around our studio. Like it was to quote Gorilla Monsoon, it was a happening. Like it was an event, and I've been really lucky to talk to some great people, but that I will just for the madness of it.
Right.
I will always remember that one, and there were there's when you do BT, you talk to so many people. It's almost completely unfair to narrow it down to just one.
Right.
But I have to say, in the week of Truth and Reconciliation that we did leading up to the day, we talked to so many people. It was one of the most incredible weeks of my professional life, just hearing every story that we had lined up. It was, without getting into the details, obviously, and you can imagine what they were. It was a heavy week, but I will always remember that and the job that the team did at BT to line that all up. Like that was just, it was an eye-opening week, and I'll never forget it. So they're different types of interviews, obviously, so they're on different spectrums.
Of course.
Doing BT, it's been no 2 days are the same, Steve. It's been amazing. It's been amazing.
Do you ever have a moment now that you're on BT and you're covering like news and stuff? Like you had a rant about the Prime Minister, which I was like, for me, it was a very surreal thing to watch because I'm like, that's Sid Cicero right there. Like, do you ever go sports facility? For a second, do you ever go, maybe that basketball game didn't matter that much?
No, it isn't. I still, like, on a weekend, my sports schedule has not changed. Like, it's a lot of soccer in the morning.
Right.
Like, I try and decompress from news a little bit on the weekend. So, like, on a set, so today, a lot of English Premier League. Oh.
And I think Blues power play. Oh, and Dermot's down there, too.
Did someone have a go at Dermot?
I don't know.
Is this story continuing?
Did he block a shot or get speared? Kind of looks like he got speared.
Collision.
Oh,
no.
He got the cowbell.
That's nuts.
Oh, dear. Oh, heavens, Sid.
Come on, man. Can't say that?
No, you can say that.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
He got the cowbell. The worst cowbell story I've ever heard comes from noted Rogers Sportsnet employee Justin Bourne.
Shout out Justin Bourne.
Awesome. Shout out Justin Bourne. He came on my podcast years ago. And he was talking about his college hockey days because he played high-level college hockey. And he was up against the other team's big bruising defenseman. Like biggest guy in NCAA hockey. And the guy got his stick between his legs, hand on either side of Bourne, but Bourne was going to win the puck. So what the big hulking player on the other team did was he picked him up off of the ice with his stick in cowbell position between his legs. Sid, the kicker, that big bruising player was John Scott. Justin Bourne got lifted off the ice by his cup by John Scott.
So essentially, he got lifted by the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
With a stick.
Justin Bourne went into the corner to get the puck, and he looked at John Scott and he said, "You're going to die for some chickens." John Scott said, "Someone is." It was
that was a rough
the hound, not the mountain. I'm well aware, but they're brothers. So,
yeah.
Let's see. I keep fixing my hair. It's the headphones.
Your hair's perfect.
Every time I get a haircut, Katie, who cuts my hair, Katie, I go, "Katie, how's the hair? Is it thick? Am I losing the hair, Katie?" My grandpa lived to be 95. He had all his hair. Every time I say I'm worried about the hair, someone goes, "Oh, well, they say, it's whatever your mother's father was. He was bald. He was very bald." Don't tell me that because he was bald.
As long as you've got enough when you look at the camera to make it look like the fields are still providing wheat. Because I got some areas in the back that are a little sketch. But as long as you can look at a camera and make it look like you still got all your follicles, then you're in good shape.
We need ornaments. like hair ornament. Like my yard, I have a dog, right? So like he messes up the yard. But you know, all right, we'll put an ornament there. I think that'd be a nice place for a rock. You know, we need ornaments. I need a little gnome on the hair in case I get a little patch. Leafs with a 4-3 lead here, about halfway through regulation. Which, God, this team, like no other, knows how to make feel like an eternity. An entertaining eternity, I will give them that. But, good Lord, my soul, I don't know how many more multi-goal leads I can handle. Holy smokes, Willie!
What a move.
What did he do to you?
You really should have shot that.
He really should have. They've done that a couple times this period where they've come in with speed and circled back. No, drive. Get in there. There it is. He loves that one-timer. It's his new toy. I gotta say with Willie, he's doing things that great players do. Like great player, I remember Sidney Crosby in particular. Not that I'm comparing the two, but from the beginning of his career onward, he came back every season at the beginning of the season with a new toy. He was garbage at faceoffs, and he became great. All right, now I'm going to become the best backhander in the league. All right, I've developed a one-timer. All right, I'm the hardest person to knock off the puck in the entire league. All right, and by the end of it, there was no one better.
Just keep building. Yep, I hear what you're saying. It's a great point.
Keep building. Like Matthews, in that first season, he got 40 as a rookie. How many of them were one-timers? And now I can't imagine Matthews without the one-timer in his game.
It's true. And that move off the face-off on that first goal for them.
Oh,
outstanding.
And when I finally saw it, it was great. I don't know if you saw the clip.
There were technical issues?
No, I was looking down at my phone to get questions, but a friend texted me. I was like, whose number is this? Because he's got a new number. And then I look up and the puck was in the net. I go, what the hell happened?
Leaf stream, who dis?
Leafs, yeah. What's this? My job? I miss my own show. Forget yours, Sid. I miss my own. My boss watching? No.
But you can't be like if I tune in to listen, you do well enough on these streams. You don't need advice. But if I'm a Leaf fan watching this stream with you, I don't want you that distracted. Like I want the Dangle experience in one way only. There's only one lane to that. I want you zoned in.
See, other people get upset if you don't ask their question.
Well, but we can get to that's what stoppage is a player for. We can do that.
That's true.
Sorry, am I producing your show for you?
No, do it.
Forgive me if I'm out of bounds here. But I think people want to see you be you and react. And, when we got time for questions and, I mean, hell, have someone email you 3 off the feed. Oh.
Why do they do this to us? I am listening, Tony.
This is maddening, isn't it?
And look at them. But they were not playing like this.
Wow.
What happened? What happened? This is the magic. These are the demons. Paul McLean, who I don't think is with the Leafs anymore, he was their eye in the sky coach. He was an assistant coach, but he watched from the press box. He was in the All or Nothing documentary for about 5 seconds.
Towards the end, right?
Towards the end.
Yeah.
And I think it was before Game 7. Maybe before Game 6. And
7.
It was 7? And he goes, they got demons in the closet, demons under their bed, demons everywhere. This team, it's 100% between the ears. Because you could tell from the moment Game 5 started last year. Oh, something's very wrong. Whoa!
How did that not go in?
I think the play stopped on a hook.
Krugel is the one who looks upset, but I think he's calling a holding call, and I would have to be on Marner because I think the Leafs had...
And I think it's a Leaf, but I can't hear the broadcast. It's a hold. Who has the power play right now?
Krug.
Oh, the Leafs. Good. Get off.
It's worth reminding people on the stream, when Steve and I are talking, we're not getting Gary Galley and Chris Cuthbert.
Yeah, the audio.
We're not hearing the feed. So... if they're explaining something during the actual broadcast and we're not picking up on it, try not to yell at us too badly because we can't hear.
Yeah, I got to call it the refs for being inconsistent because Torrey Krug held Mitch Marner, sure, but Mitch Marner also existed, which should have been 2 minutes.
Yes.
That's what Michael Bunting got in the first period. The coincidental minors. One guy hit a prone player for no good reason, and the other was that player. So you can see how he had to go as well.
Return helps get them back.
It's a shitty league, Sid. Sometimes. Is that a swear word?
By the way, I think, you know
There's
what?
a Y at the end? I don't think so.
You can't text me and say, watch the swear words. But then again, it's your stream. You can do whatever you want.
I think that's the first one.
That slipped really easy, though.
Yeah, it's a you know what? It's first of all, it's because you're here. Second of all, it's a self-imposed rule.
Put that on me.
No, it's because you're here. Bad influence. No, and also, oh, here's Willie. Come on, Willie. Stop turning back, Willie.
What? You can't give him this much room.
Ooh. Get that pass through into the slot for Tavares.
You know what? Do I want them to get a 2-goal lead here? I don't know.
Most dangerous lead in Leafs.
In Leafs. Anyway, it's a self-imposed rule because, like, what's the CRTC gonna find me? I'm on YouTube. Nah, boo boo. You can't get me. You know, we did have Kessler's house last year. Kessler, they were like, he was like, "Can I swear?" And they go, "Yeah, you know, if you want." And he took that as yes, absolutely.
Green means go.
He took that like that's an NHL player, man. Oh!
Oh!
Not in a position to shoot, gives it back to Spezza.
Oh, behind the back, Spezza.
Simmons, centering play.
I need him to. Come on. I need Spezza to win a cup with the Leafs, not just because it means the Leafs won a cup, but to erase his tenure with the Ottawa Senators.
And to stick it to Babcock.
That too.
No doubt.
F.U. Babs will be his, I'm going to Disneyland.
If you feel good, you look good. You look good, you work hard, you play hard, you begin hard. Welcome.
You know, you play hundreds of games in the league, you're a former captain, and you do all the things right, and you work right, and you do a good job with all the kids. I bench you for Nick Shore in your home debut. How's that? Nick Shore!
That's a really good impression. That's a really good impression.
I do a pretty good one, but the guy had to go. What can I say? How was that? Guy had to go. All right, so we're in a break. So producer Sid says I got to take questions. So
who's your question?
We got Matthew. Whoa. Matthew says for Sid, who has custody over Steve? Are you and Tim sharing? Because sometimes Tim and Friends, other times Breakfast Television. I've been on Breakfast Television more times than I've been on Tim and Friends.
But technically you're on Tim and Friends longer when you make those appearances.
Ooh.
When you stack up the actual time, I don't know if you've been on BT more than you've been on Tim and Friends. Well, I'll answer the question this way. Like in any separation, it's been civil so far.
Yeah.
Eventually we may have to go to court.
Damn. Fair.
And figure out who gets the dog and who gets the dangle. all the fun stuff.
You know what? Breakfast Television is the tiebreaker. Because I was on Tim and Friends, but I was also on Tim and Sid when I was Tim.
Correct. Oh, yeah. We co-hosted.
Did
the trade not break that day? Do you remember that day?
Yes, it was a garbage deal. It was,
what was it?
The Sens traded Chris Weidman to the Oilers.
You have a problem.
I know.
How do you remember that? That was like 3 or 4 years ago. Easy.
Well, it was an important day for me. Like, believe it or not, I was upset when I realized I missed your show. I was like, the first wake up was, oh, I have no commitments. I'm going back to sleep. The second wake up was, damn it! No!
But like it was fun. It was fun. It would have been nice if you were on. It would have been cool. But I mean, like Devo and I, we promoted as best we could. So we hopefully got the desired result of the segment.
You know what? I got a coach. who just texted me
Mentioned Jordan Kyrou,
feedback about this game.
native of Toronto, played for the Mississauga
What's
Senators,
Coach
but
say?
also a product of
They can
this
do this, but they
arena
must
in
fight
downtown
to the
Toronto,
end.
which is celebrating its 50th year.
That's
So-
coach speak if I ever heard it.
Arena.
This is my dad. My dad texted me that.
All the small towns. all over.
They need to fight.
They need to fight, but they must go to the end.
A lot of us
My
grew
dad,
up
who
with
did take
Brits.
me to skating lessons when I was 5, but
That's 2 minutes.
no hockey game. Nah, buddy.
How was that not 2 minutes?
Blues are the home team,
My guy got tackled in the corner. Scores.
and they
Are
scored.
you
And they
kidding?
score off it.
Are you
And they
kidding?
score off it. Like this is why people are like, oh, the Leafs need more grit. They got to be tougher. Like literally, just call the rules. Just call the rules. This happens every playoff. Every playoff.
Leaf fans, get ready to lose your mind on this in the corner. I know most of you already saw it. Wait for this look. Wait for it.
They're battling.
Lillard-
They're battling.
wins it. What is this? What is this? I just saw that tackle in the Bengals-Raiders game, for God's sake.
Oh, you stink. Oh, do your job. This
That's
is what happens.
That's unbelievable.
Well,
That's
Kyrie
unbelievable.
gets a point, which is cool because I have him in fantasy. But this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. Whoever's reffing this game. Oh, I have Thomas as well. Oh boy, having a good fantasy night. I mean, my team is half.
Must have pulling this goal here, Steven.
Yeah. No, but the officials, they don't even need to be here. They knew what they were going to call in this one before they got to the rink. The Blues' reputation is they are a big team and they play heavy. No, heavy. Heavy is a very interesting way people describe big teams who commit a lot of infractions that don't get called. That's what just happened. Tell
Just
me that's not something.
That's exactly what happened.
It's not a hold. It's just nothing. Liljegren fell down because NHL players are known to be bad skaters. Wake up!
It wasn't a battle for the puck. Liljegren won the battle. He had inside position on.
Do the opposite of me when I have an interview and wake up. Good God. This is the second brutal call of this game. Non-call, I suppose. But, they were going to get too many men.
They're gonna make that call up at some point.
My dad, follow-up text. You see what I mean? Yes, I do, Dad. But, like,
Mr. Dangle, you're bang on.
I mean, Mr. Dangle, sir, I still have to call him Mr. Dangle. Like, how many times have the Leafs, oh, they got to get tougher, they got to get, and then a tougher game happens, like the one against the Jets earlier this season, it gets out of hand, and then someone ends up suspended. Usually Kadri. God, I miss him. But, you know what I mean? Hyman got a suspension in a game against the Bruins that got out of hand. Like, every time they stick up for themselves, they're swatted for it. Oh, okay. We know what happened last Saturday. Our COVID memories aren't so bad that you don't need to show this. Oh, it's because they're similar goals.
Yes.
Yeah, but like, it's not.
That was Kyrou, 25?
Kyrou with the pass to Rob Thomas. Smooth, you might say.
Go.
It's just like the ocean under the moon. And
A top 20 90s track.
yeah, whatever the rest of the words are. Was that Big Shiny Tunes too? I think it was.
Get real, man. You forget about it. That's the track.
Yeah.
It might have been Big Shiny Tunes 8.
Oh, really? All I know is I remember Big Shiny Tunes 2 being the best one. As someone who was in grade like
Big Shiny
6.
Tunes and the Chris Shepard mixes were the two big ones for me.
We need to one day we need to do like a like an in memoriam for all the great like Napster and Kazaa DJs who played mixes that we all had illegally. But like they just made them in their house and put them out into the world, and somehow all of St. Brendan's and Joseph Howe and Sir Oliver Mowat We all had them. And it moves on to Pope John Paul and Cardinal Newman and all these other schools that Sid doesn't know because he grew up in Mississauga. Boo. But the Scarborough schools know.
103.5 in the Southern Ontario area. Is it Danny D? Street mix? Somebody had an amazing mix. And it was just great. Well, we have another decision that's been made.
I threw my headphones off because I guess the in St. Louis the lost and found is at the back of the building, and the ref finally came back with his whistle. Jesus!
A minute and 4 seconds left.
Oh!
In the second period. The Leafs will have an opportunity.
I'm gonna look up who's officiating this game. I'm looking it up right now.
That was not much different than what happened in the corner with Liljegren.
No, but you got to call this one because you missed the last one, and
that's probably more blatant, to be fair. But
yeah, but less consequential.
Yes, 100% less consequential.
It's in the neutral zone, so I'll call it. But if it's in one of the attacking zones, what are you gonna make me do my job? Yes. God, I hate you. Do your job. Well, how much of the game do you want to be on the power play? I don't know. Let the players decide. Stop taking penalties, dummy.
Oh.
Tough stop for Binnington.
Like, would it be so bad if 80% of the game were power plays?
Yes,
would it be the end
but they
of
would
the
eventually
world?
stop.
That's what I mean. Like, for one game for a week, or so for a week to open every season, call everything.
I'll tell you what the 05-06 season was, because a lot of people look back at that and they go, that was ridiculous. The 05-06 season, leading into the 06-07 season, that is bad parenting, and I'll explain how. 05-06, they introduced all these new rules, and way too many penalties were called. And what players did, big, tough NHL players did, and big, tough NHL coaches did, what they did was they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps and they adapted. Kidding! They whined until they undid the rule changes. When you are strict and your kid whines at you, you don't buckle. You're the parent. The ref is all these guys' parents right now. You tell them what the playground rules are.
Stand firm is what you're saying.
Stand firm. And they called a bunch of power plays in the 05-06 season, and what did they do? They backed down slowly for literally a decade until they were like, okay, too much of an overcorrection, and now they're starting to call them a little bit more. But like, oh man, how much of the game do you want to be on the power play? That is up to the players. Good Lord.
Should be.
Good Lord.
Should be.
Get a clue, do your job. This is Sid. You know why I didn't show up for the show the other day? Because I watch NHL refs 4 times a week. That's why I didn't show up. Brutal.
It can be exhausting. It can be exhausting.
Can you believe I had a half calf before the show?
Just a half, eh?
That's all it takes. I'm just vibrating. Watch a Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends. Do we have to take a break? I don't know. Sid's here.
I'm good.
Do you need a break?
I'm straight. I'm good.
Yes. Steph says, producer.
We're making the rules here on our own, aren't we? We can.
Yeah. I'm being the parent. I'm setting the rules and no break.
Stand firm.
No break. It's 4-4.
Am I lagging? Is my video lagging a bit on your end though? Do you need to call me back?
I don't think so. It goes in and out. You look good.
Okay.
Fine. I usually give the glow sticks. I usually give them the Maria Believe Me I Like It Loud. There was another one. Had all of Sir Oliver Mowat rocking back in 2003, I think. Sid. So you said they were going to blow it.
Yes.
They've already done that, and there's still another period left to play. So what do they do with that period? What do they? I need to know because you said you're the mush. What did you do?
Here's the issue now. The issue now is, what has been the Leafs' worst period generally over the last week?
The third.
The one we're about to enter. Glendale aside, the one we're about to enter has been the worst period the Leafs have played in not only Colorado, but in Vegas. So I mean, you keep saying it's up here. There was no greater period for any Leaf fan this season than the third. Just watch how they approached the third. Because there was that moment earlier in the season where they kind of locked stuff down. And they seemed pretty confident in the third. And sometimes they needed more goaltending than others, and it is what it is, say Levy. But no one can tell me, nobody, this Leaf team goes anywhere with this same loser third period mentality that they were carrying with them from Game 5 and beyond. You got to shake that. You're the Leafs. Try and believe in that once in a while. Try and believe that you have all-stars on your team. Try and believe you like there is some depth now. It feels like. Just believe. And you don't see, like, ice the puck. Just give yourself a breather. Little things. Glass it out. It's not complicated. You're not going to win every period. No one's asking you to. But put forth the aura that you believe in what you're doing, because there are those moments where, especially late in the game, and listen, it's getting to the point for me where it's becoming a conditioning issue. Like, is it a conditioning issue? This late in the year, half the teams, like more than half the teams, coming off COVID. Nobody talks about the effects of that.
Right.
Nobody wants to discuss that. But last time I checked, that affects the breathing. I can tell you this week, there's a heavier feeling on you.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to discuss it. Maybe it's a conditioning issue. I don't know. But
one of the sorry to cut you off, but one of the least talked about stories from the bubble was, Thatcher Demko goes on this amazing run with the Vancouver Canucks. They take Vegas to 7 because he plays out of his skull and brain. But in the first round, they beat the St. Louis Blues, and they beat them rather easily.
Yeah.
And then after the reigning Stanley Cup champion, St. Louis Blues, get eliminated, they just subtly drop, like 20% of our roster had COVID, and, before vaccines and everything. And I was like, what? Okay. I feel like we should maybe spend a little bit more time on the effects that may have had here, but we just sort of went, I don't know, and continued. Just continued life. There's been an unbelievable amount of, I like to think I have a good long-term memory. My short-term, garbage.
You have an amazing long-term memory. Amazing.
It's unreal. But stuff that's happened during COVID has not been as good until people ask me questions. If you start, hey, what happened in this series? And I'm able to start piecing it together. But that was one that I don't think most hockey fans even remember, is that the Blues had a rather large chunk of their team catch it before that first round series against the Canucks. I'm not saying that's why they lost, but we just sort of went, oh,
yeah,
better luck next year. That's it.
It's true. It's a valid point. You just don't know how it's actually worked its way through a team. Like, just because Mitch Marner just cleared protocol, he's going to be a ghost in this period. Watch it. Guaranteed. He's coming off the protocol. He came out like gangbusters. Have you noticed him since?
No, that's actually a good point.
He's been kind of quiet the rest of the way. And watch this period. He will be a fly on the wall. Why? Because he's tired, and he's allowed to be tired.
Yeah.
Because the guy was in protocol, and even if you're boosted up and you're a professional athlete, that's got to take a bit out of you. Like Scotty Barnes of the Raptors, who isn't playing tonight. Like, he's dealing with an injury as well, but he was in protocol. He has not been the same guy.
Right.
as he did starting the season. Like
that guy's pure adrenaline.
Pure. He's pure energy. He's pure get out of your seat. He's JYD with talent. Like he's that good. And he's kind of been different. And you're asking questions why. And, I just think we haven't spoken enough about what the actual running of COVID through the team does to the team, especially late in games. And I don't know if that was the case in Vegas, and I don't know if that was the case. It was probably the case in Colorado where the air is non-existent.
Right.
So I don't know. I just think it's something we got to bring up because the whole team got it, aside from the 3 guys that just got bit: Justin Hall and Hall, Kasha,
Richie.
So yeah, this is going to be a very interesting period for me, and I'm not going to be mad at them if again they're flat as a pancake because I think there might be a reason for that.
I'll find a way, but I kind of have to, But it's this season for the reasons that you've just put forward, and it sort of made me take a step back because I'm like, yeah, well, they had some time off, but it's no excuse for their poor conditioning 4 games into a road trip. And then I'm like, well, they weren't exactly putting their feet up and having fun in the Caribbean. This season to me has been far more surreal than last year, even when there were no fans. Because last year when it was just the tarps and the pumped in arena noise and everything, eventually it just blended in. My brain ignored it. And then it was odd when fans were in the building. You know what I mean? What are you doing here?
No, it's a great point.
I got used to it. But this season, I guess from the beginning of December onward, or a couple weeks into December onward, every game that's happened, I'm just sort of like, I can't believe this. We don't talk enough about, there's like half a dozen games on the Leafs schedule that still haven't been rescheduled. Right? All those games in December, where did they go? We'll figure it out.
I still think they got to do some form of mini North Division for like 3 weeks.
I think you're right, but it doesn't solve. I've seen that pitched, and it was an idea that occurred to me, but it still doesn't solve the biggest issue for the NHL, which is not health and safety. It's gate. They need the Leafs. Elliot Friedman keeps making this point on 32 Thoughts. The Leafs generate $3.5 million for the league every home game they have. And all their games that have been postponed have been home games. Because the league needs this in order for the cap to go up, which would benefit the Leafs have to play at home in front of fans.
Okay, well, let me pitch you this.
So what do you do?
So let's say in Ontario, just because Ontario is not allowing any fans. Let's say in Ontario by February the 3rd, which is when technically the NHL would have been in their Olympic break.
Right.
They're allowing 50% of fans at Scotiabank and Toronto and Canadian Tire Center. Does that mitigate some of that? Because the rest of the schedule is still sitting there. Like it's not like you can't move the rest of the games. So how are you going to make these other games up if you're not going to do it in the Olympic break? Like I just don't understand how they're going to do it and not have the season end. And I know you don't want to hear this. Have the season end in mid-August. I know you don't want to hear that. So I understand the gate issue, but I also understand if you don't want to push the season, like at some point the NHL can't get everything they want here. They're going to have to move the season, or the Canadian teams play 5 or 6 less games than everybody else. That's it. So you got to pick one.
Or you play 82 games, but it's disproportionate. Like you don't play teams in your division 4 times.
That's where that North Division idea comes in. See, I think that's doable. Well, will the Bruins be happy if the Leafs have another 4 games against the Sens on the schedule? Probably not. Probably not.
I know what you mean.
Gates are gates. And if that's how it's got to play out, and the Leafs get 4 more games against both Montreal and Ottawa each, or 3, whatever it is, If you want to get to 82, it's going to look a little screwy, but I think it's doable.
It's weird for me because like this is my gig, right? My gig is it's the way you look at your work schedule. I go, when are the Leafs playing? And they wiped out my shift on Monday. Like I'm gonna be walking around like a ghost. I'm not gonna know what to do. So after tonight, their next game is Wednesday, and then they play Saturday again. They're not gonna have a game. They're gonna have one game, between this stream and the next. It's not enough. That's not typical. None of this is normal. I want to just grab the camera.
Thank God for Rogers needing those Wednesday and Saturday games, though. Thank heavens for that.
And I don't even know where I stand on any of this. I'm literally just sitting here confused going, when are the Leafs games?
Yeah.
I would like to know. Listen, task at hand, third period is coming up against the St. Louis Blues, the last team to win a Stanley Cup in a full 82-game season, and the last team to host an All-Star game. All-Star jersey, by the way.
There you go. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
So you're Sheldon Keefe. That's a great jersey. You're Sheldon Keefe in the room.
Mm-hmm.
You say what?
Boys! I'm not liking what I'm seeing out there. You're too soft in front of the net. You're getting pushed around. But most of all, you are not passing it to Kyle Clifford nearly enough. I don't think you guys understand the power of a revenge game. You've allowed 4 goals from the St. Louis Blues, knowing full well that Bozak and Dakota Joshua are going to get a pair in the third. So we got one revenge goal. That'll bring us up to 6-5. Who's getting the other to send this to OT? And then later the shootout where Kyle Clifford will win it in the 21st round. All right, let's go, boys.
Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys.
Speaking of your hometown there, Mississauga, I used to be the in-arena host for the Mississauga Steelheads.
Nice. I didn't know that.
And, well, for one season, I made $30 a game, which sucked because I lived in Scarborough, and I would spend half of that money on gas. And in my, it wasn't a lucrative job, but I did get to witness history. Mississauga Steelheads, I believe against the London Knights, played what was, at the time, an OHL record 21-round shootout. Every skater shot. Every skater on both rosters shot.
At that point, the coaches have to shoot, don't they?
So when it got to 19, everyone in the building was like, what are the rules? We don't do the goalies shoot? And everyone in that building wanted the goalies to shoot. Everyone in that building, every single man, woman, and child wanted the goalies.
That's hilarious.
And we didn't get that. They had to go back to the first 3, and then it ended in the 21st round.
You would know this. What was the crazy New York Rangers shootout with like 20 rounds, and the defenseman comes out of nowhere with this brilliant. Do you remember
Marek Malik?
Marek Malik. Oh yeah, that one is burned in the memory.
The Statue of Liberty celebration and everything.
So how did that shootout end?
With Marek Malik?
No, the other one, your shootout.
The Steelheads lost. Steelheads lost. We were all sad, but we were like, we got to witness history and stay an extra half hour.
All right.
So that was good.
Time.
Or
good time.
20 minutes, whatever it was. That's why that game that I got to see with my own 2 eyes and breathe that air. That game is the reason why I am a big proponent of 10 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime. Because
and if there's no goal after 10 minutes, 5 more minutes of 2-on-2.
There you go, Sid Cicero.
Pull a guy. Just pull another guy.
I love it.
It's hilarious.
It is. First of all, it's hilarious. Second of all, the shootout is there to end games faster. But if it goes beyond the first 3 shooters, no, it doesn't.
It's so unfair to the shootout what 3-on-3 has turned it into, which is boring. Only 3-on-3 hockey is so amazing
I don't know if the
It makes
shootout was ever cool.
It makes for like a week. Like when it first got here, you were like, every Olympic shootout I ever saw was unbelievable, except for '98.
Right. I've hated the NHL shootout since the Leafs lost the first one. It's always the Leafs. Always.
But 3-on-3 has made everything around it just irrelevant. It's so good.
Yeah.
So they got to revisit that.
That game, by the way, and you can look this up to see I'm telling the truth. It was October 2005. Dominic Hasek in net for the Sens. I believe Ed Belfour for the Leafs. And Eric Lindros scores to give the Leafs a 2-1 lead with 2 minutes left. And then Daniel Alfredson scored like a minute later to force overtime and then the shootout, and then they lost. I believe that's how it went. So it's always the Leafs. It's always the Leafs. Steve, why do you go to therapy? Oh, I just love throwing money at strangers, you know? No, man.
Are you writing another book?
You know what's amazing?
That's not. I didn't hear a no. I didn't hear a no.
The book I wrote, it was a bestseller for 7 weeks. You didn't ask, but I thought I would throw that out there.
No, stats are important.
Yeah, I wanted to be 8 weeks, but you know. Okay, so I was a bestseller for 6 weeks. Then I fell off, and then the Leafs lost Game 7 to Boston in 2018. And I went back on. Or was it 2019? They have lost 3 all-or-nothing games since my book came out. Oh, there's a third period. Good.
Well, it sounds like you got material. Like if I'm a Steve Dangle head watching this or just taking in LFRs or pods, I think you could probably write a book on Game 7 2013. Could you not?
Ooh, I don't know about an entire
morning of game, like the 24 hours after.
What masochist is reading that? Bestseller in Massachusetts only.
Instead of this team is ruining my life, this night ruined my life. Like focus on the night. I don't know. It's one of those nights where everyone's got a story as to where they were and what they were thinking. I don't know. And your memory is ridiculous. Like I know you're looking at me like I can't remember anything from that night. Like if you actually sat down.
Oh, I remember.
And got also some accounts from other people around you. I think there's a book there.
The best thing that ever happened to my career happened that night. Do you know what it was? Before the Leafs blew the lead, my phone died.
No.
That's the best thing that ever happened in my career.
Are you normally let the phone run down to 0 guy, or do you charge all the time like I did?
I charge all the time, but it was 2013. I think I had a BlackBerry Bold. And didn't have a lot of money, so it was an old phone. And
best phone ever, BlackBerry Bold.
Oh, I typed a lot.
Couldn't beat it.
I want to say that was back. Did I have to text? Remember you had to do like 21212 to tweet?
You could text on there.
God, I feel old. But
you could text.
Thank God my phone was dead. Because I probably would have said just nothing but swear words. Just nothing but swear words.
So wait a second. So you didn't tweet a thing?
During the collapse. Nope. I think I did early in the game, but not a thing during the collapse.
I'd love to go back and see. I'm going to search that night. I want to see what the last few tweets were from you before the zombie apocalypse took place.
Oh my God. It was such a quiet subway ride. And in Maple Leaf Square, Kyle Clifford, revenge! In Maple Leaf Square, the reaction was so much louder when the Bruins tied it than when the Bruins won it. We were all just sitting there waiting.
Yeah, once they tie it, it's over. Once they tie it, there's no coming back from that.
In overtime, Joffrey Lupul hit the post, and we were like, that's nice of you to make it seem like it might happen for us. But then it didn't. The best thing that's ever happened to me, my phone died that night. And my wife and I took a very quiet ride home.
I'm sorry, Steve. Doesn't have to be like 400 pages, but I think you guys. the night that changed my life, or some stuff like that. I don't know what you call it, but hell, just call it Game 7.
No. Oh boy, who's hurt?
Who's
that?
hurt? Who's that?
I think it's Clifford, actually.
I see a 4. Is that
It is
Riley?
Clifford. It's Clifford.
Right.
Oh boy.
He couldn't get to he barely got back to the bench.
No, that's not good. He blocked. Oh no!
In the crease. In the crease, Jack.
If you're a goaltender, tend the goal. Buy the merch. Buy the merch. Oh!
Oh. I gotta check you guys out online for some of that merch. That shirt you and Jesse were wearing for the pod yesterday was hilarious.
So that's a different store, but you're welcome to go to it also.
Hold on. How many stores do you have going here? I thought you had the one.
No, there's the podcast, but then there's shopsportsnet.store, Sid Cicero. I'm so glad I got to tell you about this.
Sportsnet.shop.store.backslash.aol.sportsnet.
We have That's Dang It mugs. This coffee is a hat pick. We have If You're a Goaltender, 10 the Goal shirts. Our best seller by far, because goalies don't know what they're doing. Oh, it got him in the forearm. No.
Sacrificing for the cause. Somebody help him, for God's sake.
Maybe it wasn't the forearm because he crawled off the ice. It looked like I didn't see what it did.
It looked knee-ish.
Was it knee?
It looked leg. I don't know. You're not doing that if you can skate.
Oh,
of course.
Is that at least someone I have in fantasy?
I don't think so.
God, it wasn't even Bozak or Joshua, so they're gonna get 7 goals now. They're gonna.
Oh,
it's Mikola. Who was going at? Who was he going at? Bunting earlier in the game. My voice cracked. Again.
Nothing Campbell could. What's Campbell gonna do there?
Who's
on this guy? Who?
Like, look at all of those white sweaters doing.
What are they looking at? In the crease?
Goalie interference, probably. Are they saying Campbell's pad got pushed in? Because, like, his position is super weird. Again, the reviews without the play-by-play are always fun, Sid. Because you're
just make up our own stuff as we go.
What's great is the stream can hear.
No, I know. The stream can hear. You can hear at home, Galley and Cuthbert. We are just making up our own stuff. We cannot hear what you're hearing.
We're assuming it's goalie interference.
But it's not like,
thank
God, Chris and Gary, it's not like they have any more info than us. They're watching the same replays as us. What are they looking at here?
Are they saying it didn't go in?
That's 100% in.
It has to be.
Now here's my one issue in this moment, Steve.
This guy knows.
Why don't you just go to the above the ice cam? Why are we messing around with low angle shots and this garbage? Just give me the shot from the ceiling.
That's a short review.
It's in.
After video review, the puck completely crossed the line. We have a good goal.
Good goal.
Boom.
So I wonder if what they were reviewing, because if this is goalie interference and he's wrong, it's a penalty for the Leafs. But if you challenge to make sure it went over the line, it's like a free timeout.
Yeah.
So they did the wrist thing.
I would do the same thing. Why not?
It's like one of the greatest, I would say, abuses of the fake timeout was Game 1, Western Conference quarterfinal. The juggernaut Detroit Red Wings taking on J.S. Jaguar's Anaheim Ducks, 2003. Jaguar stood on his skull and brain and was easily the Ducks MVP, but every whistle by a certain overtime, because that game went to like double, triple overtime, something like that. Uh-oh, my pad's untied. Uh-oh, my glove's untied. Uh-oh, my skate's untied. Uh-oh, I gotta, post something in the mail. Uh-oh, I got to file my taxes. He found an excuse to get a breath every step of the way, and the Ducks ended up winning that game and series, which they had no business being in. It's one of the only times I've ever seen a team goalie their way to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. Like, it was J.S. Giguere, Paul Kariya, and, like, I don't know, Mike Leclerc. Like,
but it was a terrible moment for the game. It was a terrible moment.
Speaking of terrible moment for the game, okay.
What was that?
Are you talking about the worst series in the history of the National Hockey League, the Minnesota Wild versus the Anaheim Ducks in round 3 that year?
Well, that one was bad too.
Giguere almost shut out the Wild.
As a cup final, that Giguere Cup final was. I wasn't a fan of that.
No, when the Devils are the offensive team, you got a bad Stanley Cup final. That was like the heart of the dead puck era. Even hockey types were like, you know what, this is too much.
Steve, I just did the math. Since I sat down here, the Blues have outscored Toronto 4-1.
Oh, well, this is where the Leafs come back. That's how that works. Let's go. Which number's Bergeron? Let's go. Oh, Liljegren took 37. Shoot. Well,
can't do that now.
Shoots. Way to go. And he's got a goal tonight. You can't waste a game where Liljegren finally gives you a goal. You had a 3-1 lead. I don't know, man. Like, the games have integrity. They're being played. So at what point do I get to wag my finger because they blew another multi-goal lead? They haven't lost yet. There's still 14 minutes.
I think anytime you blow a multi-goal lead, having not played the night before, you can wag any finger or thing you want.
I'll stick with fingers.
Yeah, let's stick with fingers.
I'll do that.
It's a family stream.
Yes, it is.
98% of the time, it's a family stream.
Except for when you say shitty. Oh, nuts.
Oh, no.
Oh, heavens.
Twice. Put another toonie in the jar.
You know what? It's past 9 o'clock. If we're going by Britain rules, it's okay to swear. Which, that's the greatest system ever, by the way.
Sorry, I thought it was a joke.
No, it's like
you have a 9 o'clock rule on British TV?
Yeah, the whole country, it's 9 or 10, has a rule where it's like, all right, your kids should be in bed by this time, and if they're not, it's your fault. And just let her rip. Whoa! Oh!
What time in Britain do you have parties during lockdowns and lie about it?
God, you know, you just made me think about partying in Britain, and now I'm sad. Now I'm sad. I miss my Scottish family there that I married into. I want to go back to sunny Aberdeen. Leafs losing 5-4 to the St. Louis Blues, but we got a lot of third period left to play. I'm Steve Dangle here on Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. Click like, click subscribe, tell all your friends. Here's one of my friends, Sid Cicero, eating chips. What kind of chips you got?
You know what? I thought they were sour cream and onion. The room was dark. I picked up a bag. I'm serious. Yeah, what I thought was sour cream and onion chips turned out to be a pleasant mistake, and I got some salt and vinegar, which the older I get, the more I really appreciate.
Wow, you really do have COVID. You were eating salt and vinegar chips and you did not know.
Yes, basically. No, I picked the bag up. I knew the second I started eating them, I wasn't aware what I was eating, but I thought I was picking up another flavor. Anyway, I'm in a bit of a haze. This is true.
I get it.
But I'm thoroughly enjoying this. So, like, okay.
Oh boy.
So the narratives, if it stays like this for the Leafs, narratives coming off it are what? Mitch comes back, he scores, looks okay, although he's faded pretty badly here as the game's gone on. You blow another lead, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Some iffy refereeing. What am I missing for angles here? Great start.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point where it's important to talk about the positives. And there are plenty from this game. But at the end of the day, like, people ask me to be positive, but I can't help but notice they have the same problems. They've gotten better at certain things. I would argue this team is easily, clearly better than they were last year, frankly. They score playoff-style goals, which Sheldon Keefe really wanted. Jack Campbell is playing fantastically. Until this road trip, the defense, I thought, was actually doing pretty well, too. Or at least they did an adequate job. Maybe Jack Campbell masked some of that. Nylander's playing the best hockey of his life. Matthews is a Rocket contender and a Rocket. Michael Bunting has been a dream of a Zach Hyman replacement. Andre Kasha looks fantastic. Timothy Liljegren has been an NHL player of impact. Like, what am I missing? Right? They're blowing leads. They're blowing leads. And at what point does the result outweigh the process? The process, oh, look at them. They got the 4-1 lead. They have the puck more. They're mucking around in front of the net. Dude, you lost! Again, if the score stays this way.
But Keith, like, you're right.
Like, do I ignore?
No, but the thing is, I think your role in this, and I mean, it's obvious. Your role in this and how you react with a very big fan base that watches what you do and what SDPN does, compared to how Keefe comes out and has to speak about his team. I mean, it's obviously not the same. Like, I could see Keefe. Like, Keefe just can't go to the whip hand every time. Like, he's got to pull. You know, he pulled the act earlier this year after the Carolina loss, following the Pittsburgh loss, and we all thought he was going to land base them again, and he didn't. And he was pretty positive, and he did that the other night too. It was the Colorado game, wasn't it, or the Vegas game? It was oddly positive after one of those games. I can't remember which one.
It was Colorado. First game back. Colorado's a wagon. Like, they're an unreal team. I got it. Like, I didn't really even freak out that much. I was like, why is it always you? But I understood it. But now this is the third time in 4 games. And the one game where you didn't was the Coyotes. And by the way, you said something earlier about the third period in Glendale. The Leafs outplayed the Coyotes in all 3 periods, but the third, they outplayed the Coyotes by the least. You know what I mean? It was like the shots were 20-6 in the first and 15 or whatever by the third period. It was their worst period. They're unreal on the face-offs this year as a whole. Like, there's so many things where there is a measurable improvement with this team, and then they have a hard time. Like, this happened a couple years ago when Babcock was at the helm. They did not lose a game that they led heading into the third period until they aggressively did. They lost one game against the Vancouver Canucks. That was the Josh Levo revenge game. Revenge! Where Nick Patan played one game at center and Babcock decided, I'm sending you to Madagascar forever. And this year, heading into that game against Colorado, the Leafs were 17-0-0 in games where they led heading into the third. And they couldn't even bring the lead into the third. They blew it. You weren't even here 5 minutes, Sid.
I had one ship.
You had one ship.
I had one ship, and Ryan O'Reilly cut it to 3-2.
You won the Mark Messier challenge. One ship. Bet you can't eat just one. And Sid Sixero said, betcha I can. This sour cream and onion, delete, salt and vinegar chip.
That's exactly what I did. That's exactly what.
Excuse me. Watch, the Leafs are going to win this 8-5.
That'd be an entertaining way to end it.
That's how it's going to end?
It could be. I just think there are moments in their own end. Like your mentality when you're up has to change a little, right?
Yeah.
Does it have to, like, I'm not saying you have to completely become the Devils of the 90s, but there has to be, like, I find the way Keefe coaches this team, I think we leave it up to the players way too much. Like, there's no gear here. If you're up 2-1, you've got to change how you're approaching the game. I'm sorry. You have to. You can't press and it's offensive possession and pinch in and keep it going. It's got to change a little. And he is way out of his crease.
Yeah, come on.
Out of his crease.
And the Leafs drew a penalty.
As it comes back to the line, Sandin across.
Extra attacker out there.
Muzzin pinching like crazy right now.
Muzzin, when the Leafs are losing, I actually kind of love. I know he's had a tough season, but especially in those in Game 5 and in Game 6 against Montreal, who was better than Jake Muzzin, even though he got hurt in Game 6? He's like, guess what, you bunch of clowns? This series is not going to Game 6, and he was a huge part of that 3-goal comeback that they blew in 1 minute, thanks to Alex Galchenyuk. But he really does put the team on his back in moments that matter.
But he hasn't looked right though. You said it on the pod the other day.
Yeah, I don't think he's played a healthy game this season.
You suggested health might have been an issue, right?
Well, I mean, he had kind of a nasty injury in Game 6. I can't remember what it was, and he had the scary injury in Game 2 against the Columbus Blue Jackets the year before. You know, at what point, you know, is Jake Muzzin feeling the effects of being Jake Muzzin? I don't know. And Justin Hall, you know, everyone's been ragging on him. Like, we sort of forgot that he missed some time in training camp due to an injury. So it's sort of like, remember Riley just before the COVID shutdown, when he was very clearly, from the moment the season began through January, was not right. And then McDavid scores that ridiculous goal on him, and he just says, that's enough, and goes on LTIR. It was a long time coming because, like, he didn't get hurt in that game. It was just, at some point, he needed to, Morgan Riley had to stop in order to be Morgan Riley.
Not do that for a while. Like, you're right. It's once in a while you need to step back and look, if there's something, again, we're just talking here, but if there's something up with Jake Muzzin, you need to rectify that immediately. It can't linger. Like, if that guy's not right in the first round against Florida or Tampa,
Boston, forget it.
Boston. But like, I'm waking up this morning, I'm like, they get Tampa in the first round if it starts today. You can't have a 75 to 70% Jake Muzzin. You're dead. You're dead. And I just, you got to figure that out. Like, get everyone ready for April now. Look at your schedule. Who needs what? To hell with these points. You don't respect the points anyway. You're blowing every lead. So make sure everyone's ready for April and make that the priority.
Leafs are on the power play right now. Jack Campbell assist. Let's go. I love the goalie assist and the bench assist.
Gretzky assist, yes.
Yeah, love a good bench assist. When the guy passes it, goes to the bench, and they score. And he's just sitting there on the bench like, all right, and I helped. Can't remember the last league to get one. I wonder if the first unit gets the full 2 minutes here. Depends how they look.
They might.
Marner getting his first power play goal in Millennium would be great, but Matthews scoring pretty good too. Marner to Matthews, and it's a tie game. 5-5. Binnington is bad, and I am glad. Let's go.
Marner does this thing. I got to see this again. What did Marner do behind the net?
He just went.
He just faked the entire team.
Send Mikkola to the Shadow Realm.
Well, Mikkola got his ankles broke on that.
Your ankles there, bud.
Oh,
Binnington? Did he almost get He almost got that.
Nearly. It just found the space.
That's with goaltending. It really is Vin Diesel rules. You didn't almost have me. He nailed it. Matthews ties this game that I said would be 3-2 at 5. It is the carnival that I joked it wouldn't be. Just win. In games where the process isn't there, I just want the result. Like, bro.
But this is the problem here. This shift. Look at this shift. This is a joke. That's a joke shift coming off a goal that big. That bench should be riled up. They should be coming over the boards like NBA Jam on fire. And they're not. It's just the softest shift of the game when you should be flying.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
And
they can't have the talent to play with anyone that's not the problem. That garbage is the problem. And I don't know how you fix that.
You can call it a personnel issue. They keep getting different guys. You can call it a coaching issue. They have a coach with an unbelievable record who doesn't have a similar style to Babcock, frankly, and it's been a problem the whole time. Here come the Blues. They collapse to the net
Unreal.
so hard. They collapse to the net in a way that is not helpful. You know what I mean?
No, you're bang on. Just keep going back and back. Like, it's just,
they're there.
Like, stand up. You don't have to lay anyone out, but just stand up. Stop giving them the room.
For a second, I thought there was a delayed penalty, but the Blues were just offside.
Oh. Yeah.
I love that. More of that, Mitch. More of that.
The Mitch Marner is going to be a ghost in the third period prediction has not come to pass on my end. I was incorrect. I was incorrect.
Sid Cixero noted wrong bum.
Wrong. Loud wrong.
By the way, I should promote now that everyone's in a good mood that next week my other dad, Tim, will be the guest. Tim McAuliffe.
Nice.
Going to be on Watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I learned that through a text message. And your custody battle continues, I'm afraid. I bet he's going to bring me a present.
Why?
He brought chips. I didn't get any. You could have Ubered chips to my house. You didn't.
I should have.
You should have skipped the dishes. Well, like,
hit that up. We hit that up tonight, actually.
Skip the custody appointment because I'm not coming because you didn't give me any chips. If you haven't been here since the beginning of the stream, that is very confusing, and I don't care. That's why you got to tune in to watch the Leafs game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. Here on the Sportsnet YouTube channel. Click like, click subscribe. Tell all your friends, and most importantly, watch from the beginning. If the Leafs are going to play a full 60 minutes, that means you have to as well. All right? That's how it works.
All or nothing, as they say.
You know what's amazing, dude? Underratedly, look at the shots. When did that happen?
Sorry to make my face this close to the camera. It's a little unsettling.
It's okay.
But does it feel like that, though?
No, not in the
doesn't
slightest.
feel 36-22, does it?
No, not in the slightest. But they're welcome to continue. Like,
it would be a very refreshing change to the narrative if someone in a white jersey are they wearing a white jersey or blue jersey tonight?
White.
If someone in a white jersey, it's been a long week, someone in a white jersey just gets the winner and they come back in the third. Like, it doesn't seem like much. What about that concept, Steven? What about that concept? How would that feel?
You know, I got to think about it a little bit more, but initial thought, I think I'm for it.
Yep. I thought you would be. Thought you would be. I'm sure a lot of people on the stream think so too.
Did Kyle Clifford return to the game?
I don't know.
That's a legitimate question.
No, no.
I got to check the...
Well, he had to crawl off it, so I'm assuming he might be gone for the night.
You never know. I'm checking the Leafs PR. There's nothing there that says he won't be back. I don't know. If anyone's heard anything...
What would you do if Kyle Clifford gets the winning goal? Bobby Bond style.
I'd tear
this hockey game.
I'd tear every figure off the wall. I'd yell and scream. The police would be called to my house.
See, to a lot of younger viewers on the stream who might not remember, the Blues and the Leafs had some wars back in the day.
Yep.
In the Norris division growing up. Like,
I don't remember well, but I remember.
They don't, no, but like they were there were some rough games. And Wendell Clark still threw the craziest hit I've ever seen on Bell.
Yeah,
I forget who's
Bruce Bell?
first. Bruce Bell. It was Bruce Bell. Look that one up. When you're done with this stream, stay on YouTube and look up the Bruce Bell hit. The Leafs and the Blues would have goes at each other in the Norris. And it was a kind of a cool rivalry, and it dissipated, but check that one out. Crazy.
God love Wendell, but his highlight reel is a big old bunch of, you can't do that anymore.
Yep.
A lot of it. That's one of those things where you go, yeah, well, it was the style at the time.
Well, every Flyer of the 70s had that career.
But let him play.
Let him play.
Let him play.
Let him settle it, boys.
Let three guys assault Boreas Salming. Oh, no, it's a fight. Just letting them know they're there. They're making room. Yeah? That's what they're doing. They're making room.
Honestly, Steve, what's about to happen here? How does this end?
I would love a Kyle Clifford revenge goal. I'm feeling... Ooh!
Tavares.
I think he might have hit the post there.
Wow.
Willie has been playing a solid game that has lacked finish, and he feels due. He feels due. He feels dangerous. I would, you know what, for feel-good story, because we need a reset here. We ranted for the better part of second intermission and third period here. For feel-good story reset, Marner. Bonus points for on the power play. Look at this shot! 12-1 in the third.
That's giving me Game 6 overtime vibes from last year.
Oh, heavens, Sid, that was 13-1.
Sorry.
And when it was 13-2, I was very sad. But it's okay. I did it in the privacy of my own home on a live stream in front of thousands of people. Someone wrote an article about that because they put my reaction next to a Habs fan named Raheel. And the article was basically like, there wasn't much to it other than the author was like, man, I can't believe someone would put themselves out there like that to be humiliated. And I'm like, hey, I'll have you know this humiliation is my job.
Yeah, but I wouldn't use, I take umbrage with that word, humiliated. I don't think what you do in that moment, like in a playoff game like that, pardon me for this tangent here as we watch the final 4 minutes, but that's not, to me, that's not humiliating. That's like,
here he comes! Oh!
That's you have a skill. That's a skill. To be able to, more than willingly, yes, to expose how vulnerable you are in those moments with this team. Like, I know there's people that show up that just want to see you get your heart ripped out of your chest. I get it. But that's not, like, to me, there's nothing humiliating about that. That's some of the bravest stuff you're going to see in broadcast. I don't care where you are, is how you do these streams. And not just in these moments, but like specifically in the playoff moments, the big ones. That's not, I take offense to the word humiliating when anyone describes that about how you do this. That's not correct, and people don't get the business. What's happening? Goal! Oh, goal! 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 Goal!
First person on the ice to see it.
Marner. Was it Marner?
No, it was Mikheyev, I think.
I saw a little guy. I saw a little guy high-fiving. I thought it was Marner.
Little guy high-fiving. They're probably average size.
Oh, you're right. It's Mikheyev.
That he throws it way past his partner, and Falk can't get it.
Santino Marella. Let's go.
He just goes for a change. This thing is sitting up in the middle bar.
How did that go in?
It's below the Gatorade.
Bennington is awful.
Dude, against the...
Oh my God. That's so bad.
How did that take so long?
That's so bad.
Oh, that's a terrible goal.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, but... How wasn't that called right away?
The bench couldn't believe it either.
Ilya Mikheyev Mikheyev, I believe, has a 5-game goal streak.
You know what? Just
Or was that snapped against the Coyotes? I don't
just
remember.
stay healthy. I'm rooting for that guy, man.
In his 100th NHL game.
Wow. What are you reviewing? Or you call a timeout? Call a timeout. What is this?
His 100th game. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, the net's ripped. No, this is a fake timeout.
What on earth? This is greasy.
So here's Mikheyev's season. He had his first game of the season, December 14th. Nothing. Then there's the pause. January 1st, 2 goals. January 5th, goal. January 8th, an assist. January 11th, goal. January 12th, nothing. And tonight, a goal.
Wow.
Hey, Mickey, you're so fine. You're so fine. You score some goals on Bennington. And it's hilarious. All right. Well,
Bennington stock is dropping, dude. Dropping.
I'm trying to remember if at the beginning of this stream I made a joke about it being 6'5" or 7'6". I think I might have said 7'6". 2:50 to go.
And look at this. Another let him have all the possession shift after a big moment for the Leafs. Just get it out.
Just get it out.
Done. It's a big deal. It's icing. It's like you can't just let him sit up shop for 30 straight seconds after every goal. It'll destroy it.
Is that under his arm?
It went in off his opposite leg.
Angle.
There was a chance it was going to go straight through the crease if it doesn't hit his leg on the far side.
Honestly, yeah. Under
Good
career
for
NHL game, 20 goals.
Good for Mikheyev.
Empty net.
How many Christmases ago was the wrist thing with him in Jersey?
2, if you can believe it.
That 2019?
2019. Yeah. It was in that game in New Jersey. Oh, my God!
Class it out. High stick.
High stick. Yep.
No call.
It's a Blues. Heavy team, Sid.
Heavy team.
Heavy stick.
Well, there was a heavy stick, all right. That was as blatant as you can get. Nothing.
I don't know if now's the time, but you're a big enough all sports fan that I would love to have the does the NHL have the worst officials in sports conversation. But I don't know if we do that today.
I think there's no bigger group of losers than MLB umpires.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
100%. 100%.
I'm sorry. Like WWE officials are more efficient.
Yes.
Than MLB umpires.
Earl Hebner has more integrity.
And you can't even argue with a bad umpire. That's the best part. The worst umpires are the most sensitive umpires, and they run you for nothing.
100%. 75 seconds to go.
NHL. Oh! Campbell. Oh. I felt like he fanned on that shot, but that was still big.
Still big. Muzzin out there. That's an out. Icing. I don't care.
Nothing wrong with an icing. Nothing wrong.
9.1 seconds left. Get you a sip. Get you a salt and vinegar chip. Hold on to your butt.
He didn't get all of that.
Nope.
And it rolls off the stick to Kyrou. And then how about this Kyrou tip? It wasn't much of a tip, but it was enough to get
Kyrou was all over the place.
Really nice
He's a great player, man.
Where did they find this guy?
The
He's
draft.
amazing.
Blues underratedly draft really well. I don't know how you're underrated when you're. Oh! That's the game!
Not out.
Oh my God! Oh my! I thought that was a goal. I was about to throw my headphones.
They got man, did they get away with that? Oh.
Yeah. Unbelievable. As the Blues turn it back up ice. Just over 30 seconds to go here in the third period. 6-5 Toronto Maple Leafs. Leafs out shooting the Blues heavily. Doesn't matter. Blues center it.
Oh.
And they clear the zone. 20 seconds to go. Puck on Torrey Krug's stick. Now the Blues working it in, looking for a spot. Leafs stuff them.
Offside called, 11.5.
Offside.
And I believe we have an offside call
Yep.
as Jack Campbell, the world's tallest golden retriever. Oh my God, Mikheyev going for his second goal of the game for the empty netter. And within 2 seconds, it's a scoring chance for the Blues. Man,
Just
Liljegren.
solid, man. Just solid.
Yeah, Liljegren has done more sinking than swimming in this game. In a tough position, but good experience for the kid. He
Oh
needs
my
to be
God.
evaluated.
Delay a game.
Oh my God.
Delay a game. He tried glassing out, but when there's no glass. Keith can't hide it. He can't hide it. Bleep me. Yes, Sheldon. Bleep all of us.
Behind me, behind the Leafs bench, fully confident in my team.
So this is a 6-on-4?
Yep.
Wow. Face off
Dude.
in the Leafs end. 6-on-4, 5 seconds to go.
6 seconds to go in the game. Does anyone
Six.
feel good? Like, demons!
This is where, like, you got your big dog has to win the face off.
Who's
This is it.
taking it? He wins
He
it.
won it. He won it.
Oh.
Oh, whoa, what a finish. Oh. What noise did you just make?
You come back, you answer the bell, you lose that lead.
You sound like Howard Dean after he just came in second in New Hampshire.
We're going to take St. Louis. And then we're going to go to New Jersey and Ottawa and Edmonton. And they're going to win the Stanley Cup. Yeah!
Campbell makes a couple of big saves at the end, no matter how
Holy smokes!
when he had to. And Austin Matthews.
I don't know how.
Five. Can you imagine ever having a moment's peace?
I don't know how you do this every Saturday, man. I don't know. That's a ride. That is a roller coaster. Wow. Thoughts, Steven?
I feel like whether they win or lose, I always come away with, God, I hate you.
This team is ruining my life, even if they win sometimes. I feel like I just worked out. Wow.
Yes. Okay, so this is a real story. Game 7, 2018 against the Bruins. I wore a heart rate monitor. And...
Sorry. You wore a heart rate monitor?
I wore a heart rate monitor.
Why?
I was one of those, like, workout things that measures your heart rate or whatever. And that day I helped a friend move. He lived in Scarborough. I took all the furniture out of his house, loaded it into a truck. It's difficult. We drove all the way to Collingwood where he was moving. Took all of his stuff, loaded it out of the truck. It's very difficult. Game 7 that night, my heart was twice as high as it was at any point loading or unloading that truck. The entire game. The entire game.
I believe it.
My heart would spike when I was carrying like a couch or a Chesterfield. It was like that for 2.5 hours, Sid.
Oh.
Everyone's talking about Stanley Cup windows, and I'm not confident I'm going to make it to 40. So you got to win one.
So, like, is this is there any happiness here?
Oh yeah.
It's like.
Oh yeah. There's some.
It's there somewhere. But it can't. But you want it to at some point it'll get easier, Steve. At some point.
When? Shut up! Don't lie to me. When?
You're right. It will never get easier. You're right. It's not their MO. It's not their MO.
You just helped me. And this team is ruining my life. Volume 2. It doesn't get better. Like It won't get better. Like,
wow.
Listen, they won. They won.
They came back in the third period. They got the 2 points.
Yeah.
That's a great thing.
It.
I'm sorry. It's a great thing. It was hairy at the end, but there's a lot of positives there. Marner, big third. Big third.
They always feel great when Mikheyev scores.
Yep.
That was, Morgan Riley takes the old Danny Green penalty, threw it away there, right?
I will never rip Morgan. I'm a huge Morgan Riley guy. I'm not
too.
I'm not gonna get on Morgan. It is what it is. He tried to go glass and out. He did the right thing.
That was the moment of the Raptors championship run that I thought Leaf fans related to the most. Was the Raptors literally just won their first ever championship, and we were like, "Ooh, Danny, you almost blew it for us, Danny."
It's true.
I'm looking at Morgan Riley like 6 seconds to go. You couldn't just look at the glass. It's the shiny part. I know it's see-through, but it's shiny. Oh, but then you remember the games played on ice. But they won. They won. Are you happy, Sid 6-0?
I'm happy I got to do it. I'm indifferent. I seriously. I think the Leafs, for guys in our business, winning is always a great thing. And once in a while, epic collapses get equal attention. They're a funny team that way. They're a very funny team that way. But that was a lot of fun. I'm happy because we got to chill for the last couple of hours because I love you.
Chill.
And I had a great time. Chill, occasionally chill. It was stressful, but occasionally chill. Well, I enjoyed it. I had a fine
time. And
I appreciate you, brother. And this is always fun. And you let me know when you want me to come back, and I'll gladly do it because this is great.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. I'm Steve Dangle. That's Sid 6-0. Next week, he'll be Tim McAuliffe because Tim McAuliffe is coming on Watch a Leafs Game with Steve Dangle. For now, I'm going to do the thing that I always do, Sid. Are you ready? That is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this stream. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell your friends they won. They actually won this one. Hooray.